All right, what's going on? Welcome. We've got a doubleheader going on for Canada and the men's final. Khachanov taking on Shelton is our match. We've got the third set of the ladies coming up between Osaka and Mboko. And then, of course, the men's final as well. So stay tuned. Also, stuff going on in Cincinnati. I have no idea what's happening in Cincinnati, but it's apparently started. So we'll keep an eye on that, I guess, if there's any results. But yeah, what's going on with the room redesign? I moved furniture around to make better use of the space for my living situation. But I'm going to move the room around again, so don't get comfortable. Pardon me. All right. Bathroom break etiquette equivalent to second set reset. Well, hopefully. Feast withdrew from Cincy? Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Did you frame all the shirts? I did. I just haven't put them on the wall. How dare you move stuff? I know, right? I'm so sorry. Final set will be one-sided. One of them will collapse in my prediction. I don't know. I don't think Mboko is going to collapse. And I think Osaka will recover. I'm thinking it's going to be a lot more competitive. Keep us on your toes with the change that room. Yeah, I just got to, yeah. All right. But here we go. Final set about to commence. We're just waiting for Osaka to come back in the bathroom. The players are about to come out on court for the match over in Toronto as well. So it is all happening. I don't know, but I have a lot of confidence in Mboko. She seems so much more comfortable compared to Osaka. Yeah, that's because of the crowd. I think Mboko played slightly better than the first set, so she got a little better, but the crowd, I think, it goes hand in hand, right? If Mboko doesn't play better, the crowd don't get involved, and Osaka probably takes the second. But because of the crowd getting involved, because Mboko started to get some wins, get some games, and started to win, the crowd started to get involved, and I think that started to really get, because they were starting to get involved to the point where they were cheering errors, right? And that's when some players get really pissed off at that. And Osaka was definitely not happy with it. It seemed like she was unhappy with that. But then also, it's one thing to get annoyed by that, but it's almost like she kind of was just like, oh, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. If you're not going to be nice to me, then I'm not going to bother. Like, it's kind of had that kind of vibe. Like, kind of giving up, in that kind of way, It's like, well, fine. If you don't want to cheer me, then I don't even care. And it's like, she took it really personal. And that's the thing you don't want to do in this situation, right? You don't want to take it personal, because otherwise it's going to be, then you're fighting two people, So let's see if Osaka, after that bathroom break, can readjust. By the way, chat, and we talked about it at the end of the set there. Remember, Osaka went through a terrible experience in her first Grand Slam final, playing Serena, where, it wasn't a similar thing, but she was playing against Serena in New York, and the crowd were going crazy for Serena. There was obviously that controversy with Serena and the umpire, and Osaka, was involved in that. She was in that, and you got to think maybe that's playing on her mind, but this is a way to kind of going through something like, well, not something like that, because it's not really the controversy like that, but for Osaka to go through this kind of cauldron of, again, this kind of atmosphere again, if she can get through this match and get through this situation, I think it would be a huge step for her. After what there was even in Indian Wells, there was people heckling her in Indian Wells a couple of years ago, which didn't go down well. She didn't appreciate that, and it affected her a lot. So I think that this, she's down love 40 now, but this is a moment where this could be something to show, okay, she might not win this match. She's playing way too fast too, Osaka. She's just trying to play so quick, and she's hitting so many faults. She's just trying to play yeah. Love 40. And she double faults again, and that's it. Mboka holds. Osaka is just not interested. She is struggling. She is struggling. But I see this as a moment to be like, you know what? Show everybody that that you've grown, and use this as an opportunity to go, okay, I've been here before. It sucks. I hate this. I'm feeling shitty. I don't like this. I hate that everyone's against me. I don't like it. I feel like everybody's hating on me right now. Try and use this as an opportunity to go, okay, but I'm gonna win this time. I'm gonna get through this one. I'm not gonna, But again, it's hard to think that way when you're in it, right? When you're in the hell of it, you're not thinking, no, you're just thinking, you just feel sorry for yourself. And you just feel shitty. And the only way Osaka's going to win this match if she keeps feeling, being like this is if Mboka gets nervous, which could happen. But Osaka needs to, if she loses, I would be interested to hear what she has to say. Either way, I'd be interested. We're going to hear what she has to say in the post-match ceremony anyway, right? I love 30. And I have said before, Chad, it's always really not great to get a break early in the final set when you're in a new situation like this, because you get a break in the final set. If it's early, it's you still got a long way to go to win this title. And Mboka's still got a long way to win this title. 15-30. Shelton and Khachanov have hit the court, by the way. They're just warming up. No, 15-30. A fault second serve. If I was coaching Osaka right now, I would start, and I know it's not in her nature, but I'd be like, get angry. Get angry. Fight this crowd, Get angry at them. Get pissed off at the crowd, As Mboka in the net, it's 15-40. I'd be like, get angry. Don't get sad, get angry. Because they're trying to take this title from you. This crowd are trying to rob you. Get angry at them. Pissed off at them, Don't let this crowd rob you of a trophy. As with a fault second serve. Second serve. Double fault. There's that nerves. All right. Osaka gets a gift. It's 1-1. I want to see angry Osaka. Yeah, get pissed off. And I know it's not in her nature. It's not her thing, right? It's not what she would. It's not how she does it. That's not how she goes about her career. But in this situation, it's like you got to get angry because this crowd. They're not your friend. They're here to rob you. Don't let them. All right. First serve is a fault. Second serve. As the return goes into the net from Mboka, and it's 15-love. 15-love. And then in the press conference, apologize to the crowd that you were being yelling and screaming. You can still come out of this match. You can still come out of this match with fans. The crowd can, with the crowd on your side. You've just got to you yell at them now, but then in the post-match, you just say, hey, I apologize. I'm sorry that I beat your player, and I'm sorry that I yelled at you. And they'll be like, oh, it's okay. It's Canada. They're lovely people. The Canadians are lovely. They're not going to hate you if you win. 30-love. 30 love. As with a serve is a fault. Second serve. As we return now to the backhand of Osaka. Backhand of Mboko. That's a beautiful shot. Inside out backhand winner, 30-15. 30-15. Why is Osaka not chatting with her coach between points? I think she's just, it's all insular. Like she's in like in her head, you know. As a return goes the backhand of Osaka, down the line's good to the forehand of Mboko. Osaka with a forehand, Mboko slices it back, and Osaka backhand again. Mboko hits a slice forehand again. Osaka on the attack, hits in the net. 30-all. It's a good defense from Mboko. All right, 30-all.
I want a third. Hi, Cam.
We're going to 3. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Romain. Thank you for the donation as well. Appreciate it. All right.
6699 flag FR.
Thank you. All right, 30-all. As the backhand out of the forehand of Mboko. Forehand from Osaka. It goes out. And Mboko's got a break point, 30-40. All right. Shelton versus Khachanov. It's about to start. They're cheering Osaka's mistakes. Yeah, but that's going to happen. And see, that's the thing, chat. You're not going to be able to... Like, Osaka can't stop them from cheering against her. But she can stop how she reacts to them cheering. And she just got a warning for hitting the ball into the crowd. So Osaka is also now getting the umpire on her against her. Second serve, the forehand of Mboko. Backhand from Osaka. Is out. There's the break. 2-1. And yeah, Osaka is... I mean, even the crowd... I mean, you don't want to... Don't get a code violation. The crowd's going to... Don't give them a reason to cheer. All right, Mboko 2-1. But you're not going to stop the crowd from cheering for and against... You know, you're not going to stop that. You can stop how you react to it, though. And again, easier said than done. Much easier said than done. But I'd rather her just get angry. You know, get mean. And then apologize afterwards and be like, I'm sorry that I was so angry. And then they'll be fine. The crowd are not going to hate you forever if you win this match. Like, or if you get angry at them. They started it. They started it. All right. Shelton, 15 love. He serves. Who you got, Shelton? I've got Shelton. I'm going to go Shelton in a couple of tie breaks. Shelton is a forehand winner. 30 love. It feels like this has been Shelton's week. Best way to shut the crowd up is let your tennis do the talking. Yeah, but if you're hitting errors and your tennis isn't working, you've got to maybe resort to getting yourself out of the funk first, you know? Because unfortunately, Osaka's tennis is not helping her get out of this mess. So she might have to scream a little bit, get a little angry, get a little loud. Again, not in her personality, but still. 40 love, Shelton. Shelton serves. A 233 ace down the tee. Shelton is ready. I love Ben Shelton. Chat, I'm not afraid. I'm not. He's one of my faves. I don't care what you say. I've loved watching Shelton ever since he hung the phone up. Couple years, I love it. I love what Shelton does. He is so fun to watch. Big serve, big attitude. I love it. 2-1 from Mboko. As with a forehand from Mboko, that goes out and it's love 15. Khachanov, by the way, does have his a little bit of a strapping on his leg. We'll see if that makes any difference. All right, forehand to forehand rally here as Osaka goes to forehand of Mboko. Mboko in the net. Love 30. And Mboko again. I feel like she might be thinking, hey, if Osaka starts, it gets out of this. Like I know she's only 18 and she's only just getting started, but she probably has a bit of an idea of what's going on right now. Like going, okay, my opponent is not feeling the best. She's definitely not feeling like she can win this match, Osaka. She's definitely not reacting like she wants to win this match. It's my time to win. And Mboko's probably feeling that pressure like, this is my opportunity because my opponent does not want to win this match. I'll win it. And that's a lot of pressure for her, considering how big this trophy's worth, you know? 15-30. As the return goes into the backhand of Mboko. Backhand now from Osaka in the net. 30-all. As Shelton hits a forehand to the backhand of Khachanov. Into the forehand of Shelton as Khachanov goes in line. Slice from Shelton. Another forehand from Khachanov. A Shelton backhand again. The forehand of Khachanov. Into the backhand of Shelton. And Shelton overhits it. It's 30-15. Chad, does anyone else think that Khachanov... Actually, no, I want to ask you. Chad, who does Khachanov remind you of when he hits the ball on the backhand side especially? He has this very... And just his from a distance, his physique, like his structure, like the way he is built. Does anyone else get a feeling of who he looks like? His forehand obviously has nothing like the guy that I'm thinking of, but doesn't he have like... He just looks like a player from the 2000s. Thor. No. I'm not saying what does he look like, his facial features. I'm saying him... No, he doesn't... Liam Hemsworth doesn't play tennis. Yeah, he looks... His backhand... He hits backhands like Liam Hemsworth. What the fuck are you talking about? Come on. 30-40. Osaka forehand goes in the backhand of Osaka as she hits it down the line of the forehand of Mboko. Forehand from Osaka. Into the backhand of Mboko on the stretch. Osaka backhand down the line. Mboko, good defense. Osaka comes to the net with a forehand in the net. It's deuce. No one is saying the name that I'm thinking. Agassi? Just because he's got his hat backwards doesn't mean he's Leighton Hewitt. Just watch his backhand. And then go watch the 2000 US Open champions backhand and go tell me that they look the same. All right, 1-1. Shelton serves. As Mboko tries to get the 3-1 lead here. As the forehand goes into the forehand of Mboko. Forehand now from Osaka. As Mboko goes down the line. Osaka backhand cross. That's a good shot. And Mboko slicing the net. All right, serve again. Break point for Osaka to get back on serve. Great serve from Mboko out wide. And we get back to deuce. It can't be Safin. It can be Safin. Look at his backhand and you tell me that it doesn't look like Marat Safin. Also, look at his physique. He looks exactly... He's tall and lanky like Safin. By the way, everyone who said Roger Federer, you're trolling, right? How does Khachanov look anything like Roger? That is like the insane comparison. You know, his forehand goes out by Osaka, advantage on Mboko. It's a wild comparison. Kareem Khachanov, he reminds me of Roger Federer. How? In what way? Zero way. There's no way. All right, Shelton 30-15. Well, not lanky, but yeah, he just got the same... He's got that same physique as Safin. Plus the backhand. You look at his backhand, it's Safin-esque. As with a forehand from Mboko, Osaka with the backhand. Again to the forehand from Mboko as Osaka backhand. Cross court, Mboko gets it back. Good defense on Mboko, but Osaka eventually hits a winner. And we get to deuce. That's where I want to see Osaka shout. Hit that backhand and then look at the crowd and be like, shut up. Like, I want to see that. I want to see her just like turn around because midpoint they were getting rowdy. It's like, shut the hell up. I would love Osaka to turn around and just do that. Like, hit that winner and be like, that's right. Shut up. But she's not going to do that because it's not her nature. But again, I would love to see it. I would love to see that. I think it would be healthy for her too. It would help her get out of this situation. Because at the moment, I think she's relying on Mboko's nerves. And I don't know how long that's going to last because Mboko might not be nervous as we think she is. As we return from Osaka into the forehand of Mboko. Forehand from Osaka into the forehand of Mboko. As Osaka forehand inside out. Mboko gets it back. Osaka forehand goes down the line. Mboko then hits a forehand long. Advantage Osaka. Also, Shelton's 2-1 up. Now advantage Osaka to get back on serve. We've had very much like the second set. 3 breaks in a row. As a backhand return from Osaka. That goes out. Mboko, great serve. Clutch again. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. As Mboko serves again. As a return. Goes out by Osaka. Advantage Mboko. Advantage Mboko. As Mboko serves. A fault. Second serve. As a return from Osaka, the forehand from Mboko. Forehand from Osaka is a winner. Beautiful shot. We get to deuce. And look, it's got to be awkward as well for the coaches, right? Because they're here for the first week, so they don't want to probably try and push her too hard. Thank you, C, for the thank you, C, for the $10. Appreciate that. You know, that Vidorovsky probably doesn't want to push her. You know, and maybe if they'd been working together for 6 months, he might be more like, okay, you know, he's probably observing how she's acting in this moment as something to work on in the future, right? He probably doesn't want to push her and be like, no, you have to do this, and start like, you know, getting too involved, right? Because it is still a trial. This is, you know, they're not working together officially yet. All right, advantage Osaka. You know, he barely knows her, right? He's just learning about her now, you know, at least as a coach. He's probably watched her as a player, but not coached her yet, obviously. And that goes out by Osaka, and it's back to deuce. And Osaka just having a conversation with herself, shaking her head. And she's getting really, now she's looking upset. Not just disinterested. She's looking frustrated that she can't hit winners. She can't get that ball back where she wants it to go. All right, second serve. Into the forehand of Osaka. Mboko backhand as Osaka in the net. Advantage on Mboko to get to 3-1. Advantage on Mboko. Take the 3-1 lead. As the return goes in the forehand of Mboko. Drop shot's too good. 3-1. The crowd are on their feet. They love it. 3-1 on Mboko. And the crowd are going crazy. 3-1. Osaka's got a lot of work to do now. She has to hold serve now. Shelton pushes the volley wide, and it's 2-all in the first. Sorry. All right, must win game for Osaka here, because she goes down a double break 4-1, and the way that the match, like, she seems like the match is out of her control right now, and the way she's playing is not going to get her back. I don't think she can come back, and I don't think Mboko is going to get that nervous that she's going to give up 2 breaks of serve. Mboko 3-1 as we're going to return now from Mboko. Osaka forehand to the front of Mboko as Osaka forehand again to the front of Mboko, and the net from Mboko, and it's 15-love. I'm going to serve. The front of Mboko. Return goes off the tape. Then Osaka backhand. Mboko gets it back. Osaka forehand as Mboko backhand on the stretch. And then Osaka hits it wide. God, Mboko's got great defense too. That's part of the frustration, I think, as well, that Osaka's having to hit 2 or 3 extra shots. Shelton serves an ace-30 love. 15-all. Osaka serves again. Is a fault. Second serve. Serving to the forehand of Mboko. Forehand now from Osaka to the backhand of Mboko. As Osaka backhand again. The backhand of Mboko into the forehand of Osaka. As Mboko forehand into the front of Osaka as Mboko goes down the line. Osaka's there with a backhand. Down the line winner. That's a beautiful shot. 30-15. 30-15. Pickleball Pat.
Let's give Mboko some credit.
Yeah. I mean, obviously. 30-15. But I think the story is more about how Osaka is reacting in this moment. 30-15 as Osaka gets out, 30-all. Because Mboko is playing... She's playing all right. I mean, she's not playing outstanding. But it's way more like... The scoreline is mostly because of Osaka. Like the way that the way Osaka is in this moment is that's right now. That's the way that, at least at the start of this third set. By the end of the third set, Mboko serving for the match and her nerves. That'll be a story we'll talk about. But right now, it's all about Osaka because she is struggling, and it's not only because Mboko is playing solid. It's because the reaction to the crowd. Like, that's what's happening. That's the story. Mboko's playing well, you know. She's holding her nerve, which is great. But again, it's all about Osaka right now because this match is based. It's based on how she's been. As Osaka goes down the line, the forehand of Mboko. Osaka with a forehand down the line. Mboko, great defense again. As Osaka forehand again, Mboko gets it on the stretch. As Osaka forehand down the line goes into the back of Mboko. Into the back of Osaka as Mboko forehand on the stretch. Osaka in control, but hits it wide. And again, great defense on Mboko. She's just getting it back, and Osaka makes the error. And it's deuce. Huge game here. Has to win. You can say that about every Mboko win. No, Mboko didn't beat Raducanu because Raducanu got nervous and hated the crowd. Raducanu even admitted it, that Mboko served very well to get out of that match and win that match. In the tiebreak especially. As Osaka gets a lovely winner, it's advantage Osaka. And Coco didn't play that badly against Mboko compared to what she was. Gauff played way worse against Collins and Kudermetova than Mboko. So Mboko beating Gauff, the way she beat Gauff was all on Boko. That had nothing to do with Coco. Gauff didn't serve as many double faults as she did the first two matches this week. It was much like that was all about. That was all on Boko. She gets 100% credit for that Coco win. But here it's like, I mean, to ignore how Osaka is being in this moment would be a lie. Like if I was just like, oh, Mboka's playing great, yeah, Osaka's fine, everything's fine, nothing's going on with Osaka, she's totally normal. That would not be true because Osaka is clearly struggling with what's going on. All right, deuce. There's a bit of fault second serve. Again, this is the most important game of the match for Osaka. She's got to hold. As Mboka returns into the front of Osaka, Mboka forehand again, the front of Osaka on the stretch. Mboka hitting the ball very deep in the court. Osaka thinking it was out, but it was in. Now she hits back on the stretch. Osaka, and Mboka comes in. But the ball goes out, so Osaka unable to win the point again. Advantage on Mboka for a double break. Advantage on Mboka to take a 4-1 lead in the final set. Osaka serves a fault. Serving to the front of Mboka, return into the front of Osaka. Mboka forehand. Again, the front of Osaka is on Mboka. Down the line, Osaka's there with the backhand. Mboka forehand, inside out, great shot. Osaka gets it back. Into the front of Mboka, Osaka backhand again, and Mboka in control. Osaka forehand again to the front of Mboka, down the line. Osaka backhand on the stretch, goes out, double break. And the crowd are going nuts. I don't think Mboka's going to get this nervous that she's going to lose this match now. Osaka's going to have to change something. That's the only way this doesn't go to Mboka. She might get nervous and lose a break. She might double fold and, give back one of the breaks. I don't think Mboka's giving back both breaks unless Osaka takes it out of her hands. I have to disagree. Coco played badly. Yes, the first two matches still quite badly. Coco played way worse in the first two matches. She played better against Mboka than she had. I'm not saying Coco played as well as she did at the French Open final. I'm just saying that Coco played... Coco's best match this week was against Mboka based on errors and double faults and that, but Mboka played really well against Coco. She was playing super aggressive and she knew that Coco wasn't playing well, that it was an opportunity. She took it. I'm not saying Gauff played well against Mboka. I'm saying she played better than she did all week, but it's still not good enough to beat this lady who's been playing great. All right, Mboka, double break, 4-1. And this is I don't think Mboka's not going to lose this match. Unless Osaka switches it on, Mboka will win. Osaka has to change something going on with her. Because Mboka won't get nervous twice, I don't think. She doesn't even look nervous now. She looks totally fine. She might not even give back one of the breaks, By the way, Shelton and Khachanov, I know we're not watching. We are watching that, but we're not watching that. But it's 3-3. All right, Mboka to serve. 4-1. 2 games away from a massive trophy. She serves a fault second serve. Serve to the front of Osaka. Return. Into the back of Mboka. She overhits it. Love 15. As an athlete, it's distasteful playing with the crowd that doesn't respect the game. It's called sports. That's what happens. 4-1 winner from Mboka, 15-0. It's totally, you think that Man City go to Man United and expect them to get praised Like, this is what we're talking about here. I mean, this is as close as... This is called home ground advantage. You go to Canada, you play a Canadian. What do you expect? Them to give you flowers? Like, you're not going to get shit. Just like when you go to America, you play Americans. You go to France, you play French people. You know, like... What do you mean? The crowd are reacting to the player that they want to win, which is the majority of the crowd want the local to win. It's sports. Home ground advantage. That's what it's called. That's why it's called home ground. That's why it's an advantage, right? 40-15 on Boko, serving great. She looks like she's won 10 of these right now. Serve. Into the front of Osaka. Return to the front of Mboko. Osaka backhand. Into the backhand of Mboko. Mboko on the net. 40-30. 40-30. As Mboko serves again to go to 5-1. Shelton in trouble, by the way. Deuce. As Mboko backhand. Oh, that was a very late call by Hawkeye. Everyone thought it was in. And then Hawkeye said, actually, sorry, it was actually out. Sorry, I'm a little bit slow today. I'm a little bit delayed. My bad. That was it was like at least a good second afterwards. All right, return goes to the net. Good serving, though, on Mboko. All right, advantage on Mboko to go to 5-1. To go to 5-1. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. As Osaka too strong on the return. We get back to deuce. As Mboko serves to Osaka. And ace down the tee. Clutch. Advantage on Mboko. 2 hours played in this final. Also, Khachanov's got a break point advantage. All right, serve again. Into the backhand of Osaka. Return goes backhand of Mboko. Osaka backhand into the front of Mboko. Again to the front of Osaka, who hits it in the net. 5-1. All right. Mboko is one game away from lifting the trophy. Huge moment. A new superstar, chat. A new superstar is one game away from basically just winning the trophy that one of the biggest trophies on the planet. By the way, Khachanov breaks. He's up 4-3 against Shelton. As Osaka gets a win up 15-love. Also, I think if Mboko wins this match, she's seeded at the US Open. It'll be very hard for her not to be seeded. As the return goes to the backhand of Osaka, backhand from Mboko on the stretch. Osaka forehand cross. Mboko gets it. Osaka forehand down the line. Goes long, 15-0. And I'll tell you the difference. There's two differences that have happened since the first set, right? One, the crowd's gotten way more involved, which has definitely affected Osaka. But Mboko has also realized, if I just get the ball back, I don't have to try and go for winners. I can just play a bit more defensive. You're going to make errors. And that's what's kind of worked in this final set, is that Mboko hasn't really been hitting winners. And yeah, she's been serving great. But she's just been getting the ball back because she knows that Osaka is just making errors. If you get the ball back, you're going to eventually miss. So I'm just going to keep giving you shots. Keep going. All right. Ace from Osaka, 40-15. Osaka serves. A fault. Second serve. Yeah, Mboko, I think, is like, we'll find, is he like top 25? As the return goes into the front of Osaka. Mboko forehand again, the front of Osaka. Into the front of Mboko. Osaka forehand, cross court. That's a great shot. Mboko gets it back. And Osaka comes in with a drop shot. And Mboko got it, did she know? No, Osaka thought it was a double bounce. Osaka just let it go. Osaka walked away before the second bounce, and Mboko hit the winner. That was, Mboko got that. That didn't double bounce. Ooh, I think she got it. I'm pretty sure she got it. Osaka walked away like it was a double bounce. That just shows where, it was in. And Mboko got it. 40-30. That's just such telling to see where Osaka's thinking right now. Osaka 4 on the stretch. Mboko backhand. In the back of Osaka, still 40-30. As Osaka 4 cross court, Mboko gets it back, hits a winner down the line. We get to deuce. 2 points away. Osaka, by the way, needs to slow down. She is rushing through this. And Mboko's not even ready. She's like, hang on a second, wait a second, I'm not ready to win this yet. Osaka's playing too quick. She doesn't want to be here. She doesn't care. She doesn't want to fight back. She just wants it to end. Serve. There's a fault. Second serve. And the crowd go wild. First serve in the net, and you would have thought it was a winner. Second serve. Into the forward of Mboko. Return goes in the forward of Osaka. She hits it out. Match point. Championship point. For Victoria Mboko, the 18-year-old from Canada. The wild card who's come through against some of the best players on the planet. It'll be her third Grand Slam champion, victory against a champion of a Grand Slam this week. She beat Gauff, she beat Raducanu, and she's got championship points. Serve goes in the front of Mboko to the back of Osaka. That's in the net, and Mboko wins. Mboko gets the win, and she falls to the floor. It's going to be tough for Osaka to make a runner-up speech. We'll find out what happens. But Mboko is her moment. What a win. What a win. Chat, 2025 WTA is fire. The WTA is just on fire. Not only are we getting the best players on the planet consistently playing each other, except for at Wimbledon, but we're also getting a bunch of young players putting their hand up as well. At the biggest tournaments, right? We're getting all these new players as well. Just when we thought, we love, we got Sabalenka, Swiatek, Gauff, okay, cool. Raducanu, Zhang's been playing well, in the last couple of years. Pegula, Keys. But now we've got Mboko added to the list. Obviously, Eala, she's been up and down, not as good as Mboko. This is the youngest player. This is the best young player of the year. Joint has come real good this year as well, winning a couple of titles. There's all these new young players as well. Obviously, we knew Andreeva was going to be great. But we're getting so many, just new faces too, and young faces that are just stopping these players. Are we sort of in that, what 2022 was with Sinner and Alcaraz? Is that where we are? Are we in that kind of just when we thought it was Medvedev and Zverev's turn, these new guys came out of nowhere, Runa, and started taking these titles? Is that what we're watching? Is Mboko one of those players that's going to stop Sabalenka and Swiatek from winning more when we think it's their tour right now? I don't know. Is Mboko going to stop Gauff from winning more than we think she's going to win, right? Great to see. She's a fun player to watch too. Mboko's got a good game to watch. She's got a great game to watch. GG's. 30 all, by the way. Khachanov, he has the break against Shelton. As Mboko. Khachanov hits it wide, and Shelton's got a break point 30-40. Beating Wait, was it 4 Grand Slam champions? Who did I miss? Who else did she play this week? Did she beat Osapenko or something? Did I miss that? Hang on. Who else did Mboko beat? Mboko beat Raducanu, Osaka, Gauff. Who else did she beat? Did I miss one? Oh, Kenin. Oh, 4 Grand Slam champions. She smoked Kenin in the second round. I forgot about that. Wow. 4 Grand Slam. I mean, that is ridiculous. 4 Grand Slam champions to win one of the biggest trophies on the planet. That's impressive. She's the real deal. And I'll tell you, chat, nerves of steel at the end there. There were no nerves. She did not get nervous at all at the end there. She was nervous in the second set, but she did not get nervous in the end. She was so solid. Now, can she play next week? We'll find out. She's going to go straight to Cincinnati and try and play that. But, man, what a run. What a run. And what a result. Another player to add to the list of players to... she's not going to be unseeded at the US Open. So that dangerous unseeded, unseeded thing is not going to be a thing. But she still doesn't... Nobody wants to play her in a third round, All right, Khachanov holds 5-3 Shelton. We're going to merge the streams in a second, but what a win. So on Boco's ranking, that's a great question. So both these ladies get a boost. They both get a boost. Both will be seeded at the US Open at this stage, and it'll be very, very unlikely that they're not going to get seeded. So Osaka's 24 in the world, and Mboko is 25. So well in that bracket of being seeded. They are in that situation. Yeah, what a win. What a win. All right. Let's merge the streams to make it easy for everybody. Because Khachanov is about to take the first set. And we talk all about Osaka, but we saw it, right? We literally watched it. We watched what happened with Osaka and how, and how things went. And we know why they went that way. It's a little bit. We know what happened with Osaka, but Mboko holding her nerve at the end there and not giving Osaka a chance to come back, not giving errors. And maybe Osaka expected more errors. Maybe that's what Osaka was waiting for. Maybe she was sitting there waiting for these errors, waiting for this, waiting for some nerves from the youngster, but they didn't come. And Osaka, even though she will be seated at the US Open at this rate, goes down. Mboko wins 3 sets. She lifts the biggest trophy of her career so far, and she is very impressive. All right. All right. Shelton serving to stay in it, and he does with a big forehand, and Khachanov will serve for the set. All right. Let's fix this. We have the right names and the right score. All right. Okay. Khachanov serving for the set. 5-4. What does WC mean? It means wild card. It means a wild card. Mboka has such high potential with that power and ability to work through the nerves as the match goes on. Yeah. Well, the impressive thing with Mboka is obviously the nerves at the end there were great. Like her attitude's great. But if she can fix that serve, which is the only thing that seems to like creep in and be a bit of an issue, if she can get that serve to be limiting, if she limits double faults, I mean, she's already got the attitude and now it's going to be interesting because she's now when a player's coming up, we always talk about how they've got nothing to lose and they're the underdogs. But now that she's kind of got a couple of wins and this big win, we'll see whether or not if she can handle being the favorite now, right? That's going to be a thing because of all the players that she's beaten. She's going to be ahead of a lot of we're going to expect her to beat anyone outside the top 30. We're going to expect that, right? So how does she deal with that? That's the next part of the next part of her her learning curve, right? All right, love 15. Shelton wins the first point. But yeah, I mean, if she figures out that serve, and figures out those double faults, which aren't a big problem. They're just a little bit of they're more of an issue than they could be. She's got everything else. I mean, her game she's got great defense. She can obviously go on the attack. Mentally, she seems super solid. She doesn't seem to get angry or upset over things. She seems very, very, very strong mentally as well. She is going to be fun to watch. 15-0. Shelton hits it out. 30-15. Darren.
Mboka is the champion, my friends, and she keep on fighting till the end. She is the champion, no time for losers, cause she is the champion of Canada.
I love the Queen reference. Thank you for the 5. 30-15. There's a return from Shelton to the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton backhand to the backhand, Khachanov on the stretch. Shelton on the attack. Khachanov with the pass. Shelton with the volley is too good. And it's 30-all. 30-all. $30-all. $30-all as we just serve again. As we forehand out of the backhand of Khachanov. And Khachanov hits it wide. 30-40 Shelton. 30-40. 30-40. Hey, Galaxy, thank you for the 40 months. Appreciate it. All right, Shelton hits the backhand down the line. Into the backhand of Khachanov. Forehand from Shelton. Into the backhand slice of Khachanov. He hits it wide. Shelton gets a little lucky off the tape. He says sorry, but he gets the break. 5-5. He's like, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the net. All right. 5-5. We're back on serve. All right, 5-5. We have a fall from Shelton, second serve. We have a serve and volley from Shelton. And the dropped volley is way too good. 15 love. Hey, thank you, Peter, for coming back for another month. Appreciate that. As with a forehand now to the backhand of Khachanov. Into the backhand of Shelton. Khachanov forehand again at the backhand of Shelton on the stretch. Goes off the tape. Khachanov hits a winner though. 15-0. Osaka a bit overconfident after the first set. Burst her bubble final set she had. Yeah, I don't know if it was... Again, it felt to me that as soon as Mboko started to get a couple of games and started to win, the crowd started to get loud, and then Osaka started to get... react to the crowd. That seemed to be the difference. In the start of the second, when Mboko gets the break and the crowd go wild and Osaka started to get negative, that felt like that was the moment. And then after that, it got worse and worse and worse, and Mboko got better and better and better. And the turning point was that. It felt. It wasn't... I don't think Osaka was overconfident after winning the first. I think it just she didn't expect that the crowd were going to be so against her in the second. I think, again, that's what I saw. Maybe it could be both things, right? All right, forehand goes wide by Shelton, 40-30. 40-30. As Shelton serves an ace. All right. Shelton's got the lead. 6-5. All right. Set for 6-5. First set lead for Shelton. Let's see what happens. The trophy, yikes, for a 1,000 tournament is not good enough. Is it that stupid? I think the Canada trophy is the ugliest trophy. I'm sorry. Canada is a lovely place, but the trophy is hideous. That weird... No. If it's the same trophy as last year, that trophy sucks. I'm sorry. Go back to the trophy that was a maple leaf. Way better. Way better. That trophy stinks. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. I wonder why the Canadians aren't against Shelton. What with being American? I don't think Canadians and Americans don't like each other. I just think that... Well, I mean, not to get political, but I don't think Canadians don't like Americans. But if you want to get political, what? They're going to... I mean, not that Khachanov... No, we're not going to... Shut up. All right, 6-5. Canada likes you, Cam. Yeah, but I'm not American or I'm Australian. Yeah, but I don't think it's... I don't think... Chat, just like everything... Just like every single person in the world, you shouldn't judge the person from where they're from just because the people that are in charge of that place might be doing things that you don't like. It's not the people that live there's fault. They don't make the rules. So why would Canadians not like Shelton? From what I remember, doesn't live in Washington. Love 15. As with a serve. Into the forehand of Shelton. Return goes to the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton backhand. Into the forehand of Khachanov. Now Khachanov hits a winner. $15. 15-0. And Khachanov serves a fault. Second serve. As Shelton returns to the backhand of Khachanov. And then Khachanov hits it out. All right, Shelton. 15-30. And Khachanov is going to be so annoyed. Because he was winning this set. Lots of things are too political now. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of boring. All right, first serve, second serve is a let. As we return now to the forehand of Khachanov, backing up from Shelton into the forehand of Khachanov. And Shelton forehand down the line. That's a great shot. Khachanov puts up a lob. And Shelton forehand into the slice of Khachanov on the stretch. Shelton forehand again. Is a win-up, 15-40. Shelton with the 2 set points. $15-40. To take the first set. Serve in the back of Shelton, return the net, one save, 30-40. $30-40. As a return from Shelton. Goes to the forehand Khachanov. Shelton with a pass. Goes wide and we get to deuce. All right. Khachanov survives. Deuce. As a return goes into the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov goes into the forehand of Shelton, and Shelton smacks it down the line for a winner. Advantage Shelton. Shelton's going after it. And the crowd appreciates Shelton's play, I think. They respect it. They like the fact that he's being aggressive and he's playing fun. All right, serve again. Here's a fault, second serve. Serve to the forehand of Shelton return. Goes to that Khachanov forehand. Shelton backhand. Again, the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton with the slice. Into the forehand of Khachanov. Again, the backhand slice of Shelton. Khachanov backhand again to the backhand slice of Shelton. As Khachanov forehand cross court. Shelton's there with the backhand. Khachanov making a move. Shelton gets it back again to the forehand of Khachanov. And Shelton forehand into that Khachanov backhand. Shelton forehand again goes down the line. Khachanov gets it. Shelton forehand again. Goes long and we get back to deuce. And Khachanov yelling back. Ooh, these guys getting a little yappy. All right, deuce. And a lot of vocal going on now. Deuce. As Khachanov comes to the net and puts away the volley. Too good. Advantage Khachanov. To take us to a tiebreak. Serve. It's a fault. Second serve. As the return goes into the forehand, Khachanov. Backhand from Shelton in the net. All right, tiebreak. Who you got, chat? Let me know. Who's winning this tiebreak? I'm going to go Shelton. Because I said Shelton would win a couple of tiebreaks, so I'm going to stick with that. But who you got? Who you got winning this tiebreak? Shelton 7-2. Shelton. Khachanov, Shelton. Shelton 7-2. Khachanov. Okay. All right. First serve is a let. Serve again. There's a fault by Shelton. Second serve. As the return goes in the volley of Shelton. Khachanov going to get it. And hit a cross-court winner. He just waited for Shelton to pick a side. And Khachanov put it away. That was smart. And it's 1-0 Khachanov. 1-0. All right, return goes in the forehand of Khachanov. Forehand from Shelton. Into the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton backhand. Into the Khachanov backhand cross court. Shelton gets on the stretch. As Khachanov goes again to the backhand of Shelton. Sliced. Forehand again from Khachanov. The backhand slice of Shelton. Slice again from Khachanov in the net. And it's 1-1. We're back on serve. Oh, 1-1. As we get a backhand return with Shelton. Into that backhand of Khachanov. Shelton with the forehand down the line goes long. 2-1 Khachanov. 2-1 Khachanov. Shelton serving massive in this one. It serves again. Here's a fault, second serve. Second serve. To the backhand, Khachanov. Return goes into the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov backhand again to the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov slice. Into that Shelton forehand. Khachanov with the forehand again. Backhand goes in from Shelton. Another slice goes into the backhand of Khachanov. Cross court at the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov backhand to the slice of Shelton. Again to the slice of Khachanov. As Shelton runs around, hits a forehand down the line. It's a great shot. Goes in from Khachanov though. Shelton back forehand again. Lots of slice backhands coming from Khachanov. And then eventually Shelton in the net with a slice. 3-1. 3-1. As the return goes in from Khachanov, Shelton forehand. There's a drop shot now from Shelton. Is good. Khachanov gets there, but goes in the net. 3-2. Khachanov with a mini break. All right. Serve again from Khachanov. As a return goes in the back of Khachanov. Shot with the forehand down the line. Is a winner! That was a good shot. 3-0. The Chechens. What a shot. I think it's time for Osaka to hang up the racket after that post-match performance. Yeah, look, you're the only one who thinks that, and nobody agrees. And also, we're watching this tiebreak. 3-0. Chat, do you want me to point out the bleeding obvious? The sky is blue. Like, we know why Osaka... We know what happened in that match. We could talk about it endlessly, but we know what happened. We saw what happened. Her reaction after the match, totally understandable the way the match went. What do we need to... I don't think we need to dissect anything. Let's not pretend to be psychologists. Is it a forehand now down the line from Khachanov into the forehand of Shelton? Volley. Khachanov goes wide, and it's 4-3 Shelton. I'll say this, though. The last thing I'll say with Osaka, her and Vicharovsky had a great week. First week working together, and it definitely worked. But they have something to improve on. There's a thing for Osaka to work on. And Vicharovsky will see that and go, okay, how do we not let that happen again? And now they'll go away and they'll work on it. And Osaka, hopefully, if Vicharovsky does a good job and coaches her, she won't have that happen again. All right. 5-3. As we default second serve. As we return now from Khachanov into the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov forehand. Into the forehand of Shelton hits a drop shot. Khachanov wasn't ready, but he comes to the net anyway. And then Shelton in the net. Oh, Shelton played a good point. Shelton played a good point. Shelton played a good point, and then that last shot he missed. All right, 5-4, we're back on serve. Five, 4. We're at fault second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov backhand as Shelton slices it. Into the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton with the forehand of the stretch. Khachanov goes cross court. Shelton's there with a slice. Into the forehand of Khachanov. Again, the backhand slice of Shelton. As Khachanov forehand inside out. Shelton gets on the stretch again with a forehand. Into the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton doing a lot of defense. As Khachanov backhand down the line. Shelton puts up a lob. And then Khachanov puts away the smash. Good rally. Khachanov getting fired up as well. 5-5. 5-5. What happened to my finger? I sliced it off. Accidentally. It was not... That was 2 weeks ago now. It's not fun. I don't recommend it. Be careful when you're cleaning. Don't do it. Just don't clean. Just let your house, just don't clean. Clean with metal gloves or something. 5-5. As a default second serve. Now, I didn't need stitches. I just needed medical attention. All right, return goes into the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov forehand. Again to the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov with the backhand. Shelton gets on the stretch. Khachanov goes cross court with a forehand into the backhand of Shelton. Khachanov forehand inside out. Shelton's there with a slice. Khachanov forehand again is a winner. 6-5. Khachanov gets the first set point. How did you cut yourself cleaning? Just a skill. It was just, I'm just really skilled that way. I'm talented. By the way, to the person that said, did Osaka call the Montreal crowd racist? Just think about what you just said. 6-5. As we go to return now, into the forehand of Shelton. Forehand now from Khachanov. Getting the back of Shelton as Khachanov forehand. Goes down the line to the slice of Shelton. Into the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton with the pass. Khachanov with a volley winner. There's the first set. I think Khachanov needed that one as well because he was winning that set. He served for it. He gave it back, but he takes it in the end. 1 hour played, 1 set down. Khachanov leads. Okay. All right. First set in the bag. Yeah, great tennis, these two guys, for sure. Thanks for not telling the finger story again. That's fine. Your commentary is legendary. I don't think that person understood what that, like, if you're going to use that word, you got to, like, just think about you, like, just think before you speak. I mean, come on now. Do I need to, why would they, what are you talking about? Why would the Montreal crowd be that to Osaka? Don't use big words like that. Just keep it, you know, just come on now. Be better, please. All right, first set in the bag. Khachanov played 3 incredible points to close out. Yeah, he did. All right. Cam, you don't think Naomi had a bad attitude after losing? I mean, what did you... What? I am not surprised how Osaka spoke in the press. Are you shocked? Like, how are you shocked that... Oh my God, how could Osaka not be so grateful for the crowd and so gracious? Like, in defeat. I mean... She was clearly disappointed and she didn't want to be there. You know? There's not much... This seems very simple, do we need... I don't think we need a... We don't need a massive analyze of Osaka's reaction to losing, but also her reaction within the match. We don't need to talk about this. We don't need to... It's not simple. Okay, Kevin, enlighten me. All right, first set goes to Khachanov. As Khachanov serves. All right. As Khachanov too strong, 15 love. Shouldn't Osaka congratulate the winner? Yes, that would have been nice if she had congratulated Mboko, but... And I'm not saying that she had every right not to congratulate. Like, she obviously wasn't thinking. She wanted to get out of there. She kept it short and sweet, so she wanted to get the hell out of there. And she might have acted like she's gonna go on socials and she's gonna congratulate her there. It probably just slipped her mind in the moment because she clearly, as we saw, wasn't feeling great. Didn't want to be there. Disappointed. And yeah, okay. It is a shame that she forgot to congratulate Mboko, but we'll hear what she said. She'll be in the press conference. We'll hear what she says there. I think we'll get a better understanding of her state of mind when she talks in the press conference. All right, 40 love. But Chad, if like, if you're going to focus on, oh, she didn't congratulate on Boko, she's a bad person, she's terrible, she's the worst. Like, if you're going to start focusing on that one thing that she missed talking about on Boko because she was, like, again, we're not playing psychologist, but I don't think it's that hard to understand what Osaka was going through. But we saw it firsthand. Of course she should have thanked the congratulated the champion. It slipped her mind. She wasn't thinking straight. You know, she was having a terrible time for at least the best part of an hour of that match. She was obviously disappointed in her performance. But if you want to, like, take that the fact that she didn't say thank you and you want to be like, I don't like you because you didn't say that, fine. You don't have to like everybody, but that's kind of petty as well. Like, oh my God, I can't believe Osaka didn't thank Boko for a great tournament. Okay. Is it really the worst thing? Like, that she missed that? Did she thank the ball kids as well, or did she miss that too? Like I don't think we need to, like, pile on Osaka for forgetting to say thank you. I don't think we need to do that. She's obviously going through enough as it is. I don't think we need to add to it by being like, oh my God, what a bad person now. Like, we don't need to. There's enough people on the internet going to do that, right? There's enough people on Twitter and all that bullshit that are going to be like, oh, see, told you she's a terrible person. We don't need to add to it, chat. We don't need to add to it. We understand why she was like that, but we don't need to add to it. I don't need to add to it. 15 love. All right. Shelton serving as the return goes out from Khachanov. 30 love. $30 love. $30 love. So to serve. Stop patronizing Osaka's attitude, period. Okay, go on Twitter and, like, bitch about it. Like, you're one of the people that I'm referring to when we're not going to be like that, but you want to be like that. We don't want that. We don't need that energy, man. We don't need that. Please leave if you're going to be like that. If you want to be a negative person, we don't need that. There's enough of that in the world. We're trying our best to be positive. But also, like, understanding to other people, you know, the tennis players are human. So please. Anyway, Shelton is playing Khachanov right now. And he comes to the net. Shelton, up goes the lob by Khachanov. Shelton with a smash. Up goes the lob again from Khachanov. Goes out. It's 1-1 in the second. Moving on. Yeah, Liam, exactly. All right. Shelton's dad giving a lot of instructions. I love the dynamic between Shelton and his dad. I think it's great. It might be my favorite family duo. Chat, who's your favorite family, like active family, I don't know, coaching player team? There's a lot to choose from. They're my favorite. I love how Brian Shelton, like, interacts with Ben. I love it. I think it's so fun. Like, I think it's so good. Such a great, like, it's such a healthy, good situation. I love it. I love it. Is it a forehand winner there from Khachanov, and it's 30 love. Carlos and his brother. That's a good one. That's a good one. It's not technically coach player, but I like that. Yeah, that's a good dynamic too. Tsitsipas and his dad. Hey, look, let's hope it works when they're back together. 30 love. Obviously, they've got Ruud and his dad, right? Casper Ruud. They never seem to argue. They're always very respectful to each other and very, they listen to each other, right? You got Zverev and his dad. What about on the women's side, though? Don't have too many family units at the moment, do we? I'm trying to think. Is there any coaching on the women's side that's like husband-wife or father-daughter or mother-daughter? Ken and her dad? Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, Ken and her dad. Her dad's funny when she starts getting angry and he's just like, oh, God. Like, he's funny to watch. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, Keys. Oh, Madison Keys. Yeah. Keys and her husband, of course. That's a great, that's a winning combination too, right? Lob goes up from Shelton, but it's out, and it's 2-1 Khachanov in the second. Yeah, you're right. Keys and her husband, for sure. That's a great answer. Great answer. All right. Khachanov 2-1. Svitolina and Monfils. Yeah, they're not coach player, but yeah. I get what you're saying. Oh, yeah, Kudermetova and her husband. Yeah. Oh, Townsend's boyfriend coaches her, does she? Okay. Does he? Okay. That's cool. Fernandez and her dad. Yes. How do we forget? Leylah Fernandez and her dad, of course. Yeah, that's another one, isn't it? Very successful. Yeah, good answers. Jabeur and her husband / physio. Yeah, true. Jabeur's got the husband there as well as the trainer. Bencic's husband is a fitness trainer. True, he's there. He's not there as much now since she's come back, but yeah, he was there for a long time. You know, in the front row of the cheer squad. All right, Khachanov 2-1 in the second. All right, serve from Shelton. Yeah, I still think Shelton and Ben and Brian are the best. I think Shelton, my favorite anyway, because I just love that you can hear what the instruction is too, and you can kind of, I love that whole interaction. Okay, 15 love. All right, 15 love. There's a forehand now into the forehand of Khachanov. Khachanov hits it out. And it's 30 love. As a return goes the volley of Shelton in the net. All right, 30-15. As a return goes the forehand of Shelton. Forehand now from Khachanov goes into the backhand of Shelton. Backhand of Khachanov to the forehand of Shelton. As Khachanov slices on the stretch. Into the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov backhand on the stretch goes up. And in. Shelton with a short forehand. Khachanov there with a forehand to the backhand of Shelton. To the forehand of Khachanov. Again, the backhand of Shelton. As Khachanov backhand cross. Shelton with a forehand again. The backhand of Khachanov. He comes to the net. Shelton puts up a lob. Khachanov puts away the smash. 30-all. God, Khachanov is playing a hell of a match. He's clutch. 30-all. Tomanovic and her dad is the coach. True. He's really funny too. When you see him in like on that Netflix tennis thing, that was like the tennis series. He's really fun. True. 30-all. As a return, goes into the forehand of Khachanov. Forehand now from Shelton. As Khachanov goes to the forehand of Shelton again. Khachanov with a pass. Oh, just went long. 40-30, Shelton. That was risky. 40-30. $40-30. Shelton serves a fault, second serve. Shelton serves a let. As the return goes to front of Shelton. Slice from Khachanov goes out. Then it's 2-0. 2-2 in the second. Two games all. Back to Khachanov. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm contractually obligated to say that, and I haven't said it, so hopefully I'll have a job tomorrow. But don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like tennis, you're in the right place. We love tennis. We watch tennis. Some people say too much. I say just enough. Just enough. But some people would say, you're a psychopath and you should go to sleep. I think I'll make my own decisions. I'm an adult, but whatever. But yeah, like and subscribe if you like tennis. We've got plenty of news coming up. Obviously, Cincinnati starts today. We're not going to watch Cincinnati until Saturday because I think after this week and last week, we just need a bit of a... I need a day to recharge, but also I think it's not worth watching stuff that's not worth watching. So tomorrow, looking at the schedule, there's not much going on. We'll be back on Saturday when things get interesting. So we'll take 24 hours to digest what we watched this week, and then next week because Cincinnati's really important. Like, it's the more important of the two tournaments for sure. It's the last chance for a lot of players to get that form, you know? How's my finger doing? It's all right. I'm going to go to the docs today and get it rewrapped. 15-all. Shelton have a chat to the umpire here, giving Khachanov first serve again for some reason, which is lovely to see. All right, serve. Oh, that was an ace. And Shelton's getting pissed at Hawkeye. Shelton's like, how was that in? And the umpire said, I called it out. What is going on? Hawkeye, hello? Woke up? Hello? Hawkeye, are you awake? Hello? This is the men's final, Hawkeye. Hello? So Khachanov wants to see a replay because Hawkeye didn't call it out. So the umpire... Okay, so what's happened is Hawkeye didn't make a call, but the umpire on his screen has seen a red light, which means it's out, and he called it out. Because Shelton's like, it was out by this much, and the umpire's like, I know. But Khachanov's like, I want to see the replay. Why? I'm not trusting the umpire's call. I mean, it's fair enough. Khachanov's like, why are we using technology if it's not making the calls? Isn't that the point of using that? Like, Khachanov's like, why did Hawkeye not call it out? Like, where's the noise? You might say it's out, umpire, but I want to hear technology. That's fair enough. I mean, why are we using it, right? Hawkeye was broken yesterday, exactly. It was broke. That's why we didn't get started early. The match got delayed because of Hawkeye. All right, so Khachanov wants to see a replay, like a Hawkeye replay, which is totally understandable. It's totally fair. And Shelton's like, well, yeah, it was out. He saw it. Hawkeye is under pressure now. Hawkeye is under lots of pressure. So apparently Hawkeye is not working, but the umpire's got... Or Hawkeye's not showing on the screen. Or something. So Hawkeye's not displaying on the screen, so the umpire is going to make the in and out calls because Hawkeye has stopped working. Oh, God. Hawkeye forgot that we got one more match to watch. Yeah, the audio from Hawkeye is not making the calls. So the umpire has to make the call. Hawkeye works. It's just not making the noise. Like, it's not saying out or in, or saying out, right? So the umpire now has to call the ball out if it's out. Because the audio is not working. Hawkeye has gone quiet. Hawkeye's gone mute. Somebody muted Hawkeye. Hawkeye has lost its voice. So now the umpire's going to have to speak on behalf of Hawkeye. Okay. I mean, chat, I'm not going to say the umpires don't do anything because I'm sure they have a very important job like shaking hands at the end of the match and, flipping a coin, but calling a score. But really though, what does the umpire do besides make sure the players don't fight each other? What do they do? By the way, they're still arguing because the umpire is going to replay the point with a first serve, and Shelton's like, dude, he missed the first serve. How does he serve a first serve? Yeah, Shelton is right, because Khachanov should be serving a second serve here, right? Because the first serve was a fault. And Shelton's like, fine, that makes total sense. Serve a first serve. That makes sense. Whatever. You missed the first serve, get another one. I mean, Shelton's right. Khachanov missed the first serve, and now they're going to do a first serve. We're going to replay the point because Khachanov missed... I don't know. It's been 5 minutes since the last point. This is a 5-minute delay. And the umpire's on the phone. I mean, this is a mess. So Khachanov gets a first serve again. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. And now they're showing on the screen that the ball was out by this much. Hawkeye missed... Well, Hawkeye didn't say it, but it was out by this much. I mean, that was... All right, Khachanov serves. We're back. 15-all. As the return goes into the forehand of Khachanov, backhand from Shelton. Goes out. Even Shelton's looking... Because that first serve looked very close from Khachanov. 30-15. Yeah, it was out by this much. This isn't... Hawkeye is not doing audio right now, so there's no voice. Hawkeye's gone quiet. There's a backhand out from Shelton on the stretch. Khachanov forehand in the net. 30-all. So now the umpire is speaking for Hawkeye. 30-all. Serve. Into the slice of Shelton. Return goes to forehand Khachanov. Shelton backhand pass goes out. Hawkeye's starting to make noise now. 40-30. 40-30. As the return goes to forehand Khachanov. Backhand from Shelton. As Khachanov goes again, the forehand backhand of Shelton. Forehand from Khachanov again. Into the backhand of Shelton. Backhand goes down the line to the slice of Shelton in the forehand Khachanov. Again, the backhand of Shelton. Khachanov forehand again. Into the backhand of Shelton as Khachanov forehand goes down the line. Shelton's got it. Into the forehand Khachanov. Shelton drop shot. Khachanov gets with the backhand down the line. Winner. Great shot by Khachanov. Good defense. Okay. 3-2 after all that time. 3-2. All right. All right, how we doing, chap? What's going on? What is happening? Why isn't Khachanov always this good? He is. He's just not this consistent. But that's what you meant. Khachanov for the longest time couldn't beat top 10 players. I don't know if that's the case now. Because he has beaten a couple of top 10 players here and there, but yeah, he couldn't beat top 10 players for the longest time. He was like 0-10 or 0-11, something crazy, right? I think he beat Medvedev, and now he's won a couple of top 10 matches, but he just couldn't beat top 10 guys. It just was since beating Djokovic in Paris, I think that it was 6 or 7 years. He couldn't beat a top 10 guy. Let me triple check. I could just make it up, but I want to make sure I get it right. I also could just pretend like it was right and, don't question what I just said. I'm just kidding. So he beat... let me check. Yeah, so between... Oh, no, hang on. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. So, between... Yeah. So, he beat Djokovic 2018 Paris. He beat Djokovic in the final. So, he beat... Okay, Zverev in Canada 2019. He beat Zverev, who was number 7 in the world. And then he went on... For 5 years, 4 years, didn't beat a top 10 guy. And then in Miami in 2023, he beat Tsitsipas. So he went he was in the top 10 at the time that he was, in 2019, he was top 10 guy. But he went 4 years and he played a lot of top 10 guys. He played Berrettini, Djokovic, Tsitsipas, Zverev, Nadal, Auger-Aliassime, Alcaraz, Ruud. He played a lot of top 10 guys between those times and just couldn't get a win. And then he finally beat Tsitsipas in Miami. Then he lost the next couple of matches. Then he beat Rublev in Madrid. But his record against top 10 guys, 16 wins, 55 losses. So that's a terrible record against top 10 guys. But he did win. He won, obviously, beat Zverev this week. So that's a win against a top 10 guy. But 16 and 55 is a very rough record against top 10. So he's played a hell of a lot of top 10 guys. Just can't. It doesn't beat them very often. So this would be an opportunity for him to beat 2 top 10 guys in a week, which he hasn't done for a long time. And then to win his second 1,000 trophy, right? First since 2018. The last time he won a 1,000, I just started the channel. We had like 300 subscribers. The last time Khachanov won a 1,000, this channel was 300 subscribers old, chat. That's where we were at. And I didn't watch that match because it was on too late and I had a real job. And I'm like, Djokovic will beat Khachanov. So I didn't watch the match. And then I woke up the next day and was like, ooh, that's weird. So yeah. So one of the only times that I didn't watch a match. But also I had a real job, so I couldn't stay up all night. And yeah. It was a different time. 2018 was a different time. Backhand from Khachanov. Into the backhand of Shelton. As Khachanov forehand again, the back of Shelton. Into the backhand of Khachanov. And that goes into the backhand of Shelton. Khachanov backhand of the forehand. Shelton in the net. And it's deuce. And we get back to deuce. Would this be the longest gap between first and second Masters wins? Good question. It could be. It could be. What we at? 7 years? Probably, yeah. It's got to be up there, right? As that goes the net from Khachanov. Shelton advantage. What was my real job? My real job was drawing buildings. So that was fun. I do miss that, doing that. Not as much as I love tennis, but I do miss drawing buildings. All right. Shelton holds with a big shout. 3-3. Three all. 30 minutes into this second set. Now, let's see if Khachanov can keep hold. Oh, pardon me. Ugh. All right, return goes in the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton gets the backhand in. Khachanov forehand to the forehand of Shelton. Getting the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton backhand. Goes long. Shelton shouts at himself, 15 love. Why give that up? Why give being... Well, I was an architect for a while, so... Because this channel started to do well, and I wanted to put all my energy into doing this to see if I could do it. You know what I mean? I wanted to... try and do something, you know, that I love. And there's plenty of time. Buildings are still getting built. I'll go back to architecture eventually, and you know, it'll be fine. Still there's still plenty of work. Plenty of buildings are still getting built in Australia. There's so much land. There's so much... Have you seen Australia? There's like nothing in the middle. We can just draw things for the middle of Australia. Anyway, 40 love. All right, 40 love. As a return goes in the forehand, Khachanov. He hits the drop shot. Shot with a forehand pass. Goes out. 4-3. Khachanov leads. All right. This channel must be much more... much less stressful than being an architect. Plus, you must have more free time. Well, no. It's different stress and different, like, yeah. So that's the weird thing. You would think that, oh yeah, but it's not. it's a different stress, and it's also different. Like, I have time off when people are at work, so it's not really time off because I can't do anything while I'm, you know what I mean? It's different. Both are stressful, both have their ups and downs, and both are, you know, like, there's obviously, when you're working at, you know, in an office, you get weekends. I don't get weekends, right? So when everyone's free, I'm busy. And when everyone's busy, I'm free. So it's like a little bit strange that way. But again, it's just sort of, you know. But I love doing this. I'm going to do this as long as I can. And then do the next thing, whatever that is. Okay. 4-3. Shelton serving. Very, very sketchy situation right now. Can't afford to slip up, Shelton. He's got to keep it locked in. 4-3. As we get a fault, second serve. As a return, goes in the forehand of Shelton. Shelton hits a winner. Beautiful inside out forehand winner. 15 love. $15 love. And we just serve again. In the back of Khachanov. Forehand from Shelton goes out. 15-all. 15-all. As we return from Khachanov into the forehand of Shelton. Forehand of Khachanov. Into the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov backhand. Into the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov forehand again. Shelton with the forehand of Khachanov. Again, the forehand of Shelton. And Shelton hits it out. 15-30. 15-30. Big trouble for Shelton. 15-30. As a return from Khachanov goes the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov with the forehand to the backhand of Shelton. It's drop shot. Khachanov gets it back. Shelton with a lob. Khachanov backhand volley. Shelton backhand cross-court winner. Beautiful rally. 30-all. Lovely. 30-all. Serve again. Here's a fault. Second serve. And then back in the Khachanov. Return goes in the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov backhand again to the forehand of Shelton. It's a drop slice. Wasn't a drop shot. It was just a deep slice. Backhand goes in from Khachanov. 40-30. Shelton fired up. Shelton to level this second set. All right. Shelton to take the leveling game, put the pressure back on Khachanov. And it's a great serve. All right. Khachanov will serve 4-all. Shelton stays in the set. 4-4. All right, 4-4. Not too many errors from Khachanov. He's been clean. But can he keep his nerve? Because remember the first set almost cost him that first set when he lost his nerve serving for it. Is it a forehand out of the backhand of Shelton? Forehand from Khachanov. Again to the backhand of Shelton. As Khachanov forehand. Again to the slice of Shelton. Is it a forehand again to the backhand of Shelton? Forehand of Khachanov again. Backhand again goes in the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton slice. Khachanov backhand again. As it a backhand down the line from Khachanov is wide. Love 15. This crowd has definitely gone for Shelton, by the way. This crowd is definitely going for Shelton. All right. First serve is a fault. Second serve. As the return goes out by Shelton. 15-all. 15-all. And Khachanov serves again. Serve to the forehand of Shelton. Return to the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton forehand backhand on the stretch. Khachanov puts it in the open court. Shelton gets it back. Forehand from Khachanov again. The slice of Shelton. Into the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton backhand again. Goes down the line for a winner. 15-30. Beautiful backhand from Shelton. 15-30. All right, serve again. 15-30. Serve to the back of Shelton. Return goes to forehand of Khachanov. Shelton forehand on the stretch. Khachanov gets it back. Shelton backhand. Into the forehand of Khachanov goes out. 15-40. 15-40. Shelton, to get the break. 15-40. Serving to the backhand of Shelton. Return the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton forehand is too strong. He breaks. 5-4. Shelton's going to serve for the second. 5-4. 5-4, 42 minutes played. In this second set to take us to a third. All right. All right, how are we doing, chat? Where are we watching from? I haven't asked that for a while. Should have asked that before when I was when we're watching the other match as well. Where are we watching from? Let me know in the chat. I'm in Australia. It's 11:30 a.m. We got Dallas, Denver, New York, Singapore, Toronto, England. We got Florida. Pennsylvania, Leeds, Chicago, Poland, St. Louis, Mexico, Norwich, Jamaica, Virginia, India, Philippines, Canada, Bahamas, California, Milwaukee, Quebec, Ontario. A lot of Canadians watching. We love it. Adelaide, New York, Indiana. Go Shelton. Shelton serve for the set. 5-4. Shelton serves a fault second serve. As the return goes to the forehand of Shelton. Shelton hits it out. Love 15. Love 15. As the return goes into the forehand of Shelton, he hits a drop shot in the net. Love 30. Love 30. Love 30. Shelton serves again. Into the forehand Khachanov. Forehand from Shelton again. The forehand Khachanov. Shelton with the volley. Khachanov with the pass. Too good. Love 40. Khachanov to get the break straight back. This is their... Is it their first meeting? I think so. No, they played at Indian Wells and Shelton won in straights. They played at Indian Wells this year. And Shelton won in straight sets. 6-3, 7-5. It was a third round match. All right, 15-40, one save. As it is from Shelton. Into the back of Khachanov. Return the forehand to Shelton. He puts it away. Two saved, 30-40. $30-40. $30-40. Serving the back of Khachanov. Return goes in. Shelton forehand to the back of Khachanov. Passing shots no good. Shelton volleys it away. We get to deuce. We get to deuce. All right, we get to deuce. All right, second serve. Ooh, double fault from Shelton. Advantage Khachanov. I'm just having a look at the schedule for tomorrow for Cincinnati. It is the only players that I am interested in tomorrow, like when I wake up or whatever and I see their results. Tian is playing tomorrow. Krejcikov is playing tomorrow. Sakkari is playing tomorrow. Collins is playing tomorrow. Garcia is playing tomorrow. And Nishikori is playing tomorrow. Shelton, big serve, and we're back to deuce. So there is a couple of matches. The problem is there's no good matches. There's just like a couple of players that are interesting, which is, again, why we're going to take this opportunity to take one day off. You can only have one day off. Then we'll be back, and next week we're going to go psycho. We're going to watch more tennis than we did this week. All right, Shelton. To take the second set, he's got the advantage. That's why I don't like 2-week Masters at all. Yeah, fair enough. All right, advantage. Shelton. He serves. Into the backhand of Khachanov. Forehand from Shelton. Into the forehand of Khachanov on the stretch. Shelton forehand to the backhand of Khachanov. And Shelton goes down the line for a forehand. Up goes a lob by Khachanov. Shelton comes in with a forehand again. Khachanov gets with a forehand on the stretch as Shelton drop shot. Khachanov gets it with a backhand. Shelton with a passing shot. And Khachanov in the net. We're going 3. Khachanov on the ground. Shelton's screaming to the crowd. We're going 3. What a rally to end the set. Shelton's fired up. He's looking at everybody going, let's go. Khachanov fell over. It's all happening. 6-4 in the second. We're going 3 in the final of Canada. Khachanov going to the bathroom. He's like, I need to figure it out. All right. 2 great finals today. I mean, we love it. We love it. We love to see it. And then they play the YMCA. Let's go. Let's go. All right. We're going 3. Take the day off. We need you to be strong for Cincy. Yeah. I mean, look, if there was something to watch tomorrow, we'd watch it. But there's nothing that... it's always these tournaments, like Rome, for example. We watched a lot more Rome than we did Madrid, right? Because Rome was, had Sinner and Alcaraz back, and, it was more important. Cincinnati's like Rome, right? Cincinnati is super important because we're going to watch a lot of players. We're going to watch a lot of players to see where their US Open form is, right? So next week, we're going to watch Sabalenka, we're going to watch Sinner, we're going to watch Alcaraz because we haven't seen them yet since Wimbledon. We're obviously going to watch Coco, we're going to watch Swiatek, Those are going to be the big ones we watch next week because we need to see where they're at because those are the favorites for US Open. But we'll probably also, tune into Osaka, see how she recovers after this final. I have a feeling Osaka might pull out next week. Not that she needs to pull out, but I don't know. Maybe it's better that she doesn't play straight away and she gets a week off and comes back and plays that mixed doubles with Kyrgios instead. I don't know if she'll go to Cincy. Mboko will probably play Cincy, but I don't expect her to do anything there. I think Mboko will play, but she might lose first round. That's fine. She doesn't need to win. She just won Canada. Who cares? So we'll tune into them. Obviously, the usual characters. We'll watch. We'll watch the names that we watch. Shelton, by the way, is getting treatment on his leg as Khachanov left the court. So Shelton's just getting treatment on his left leg. He's played a right leg. He's played a lot of tennis. I think Osaka needs a break. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Osaka... I think the disappointment of today's final, the way that she, her being disappointed in herself, I don't think it's... I don't know if she's going to play come back in 2 days' time and just be ready to play. I don't know. I think she might need the extra time, the extra week off, especially because she's got to play that mixed doubles, right? Kyrgios and Osaka are supposed to be playing. I don't know if that's going to happen, if Keegs is going to be there. But by the way, thank you, Aiden, for the 22 months. Also, thank you, Yolanda, for coming back for another month as well. Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think... But then again, does Osaka want to go to Cincy and then try and get over that loss by playing another match? Like, maybe it won't be the worst thing to go straight to Cincy and then try and forget about this final by playing in Cincy. Maybe that's better. I don't know. Maybe that's a better option. I don't know. I also think she has some matches under her belt anyway. Yeah, she's had a couple of really good weeks. Played really good in Washington, played really great now. So I don't think she needs any more preparation. So I wouldn't be shocked if she pulls out. Because remember, she plays on Saturday or Sunday, and then the week follow the next. Remember, Cincinnati, it goes for 2 weeks or 10 days, but really, it's for the big names. It starts on a Saturday, ends on a Monday, right? So it's like it's only a week. It doesn't take 2 weeks like Indian Wells starts Monday qualifying and then ends 2 weeks later. It is only like a week of time for the seeds. It only takes up a week, so she really only will not play next week and then have to play the next week on the mixed doubles. So does she take next week off and not play Cincy and then come back, play that US Open mixed, which is a little bit of fun, for some of these players. It's not as serious, even though it's worth a Grand Slam. I think, some teams are probably using it as maybe a bit of a stress relief. And then go play the US Open, which is obviously the big tournament. Because the worst thing that could happen for Osaka is that she comes back and plays Cincy. She loses in Cincinnati, back-to-back losses going into the US Open. I don't know if that's a good idea. But then the best way to get over a loss is get a win. So maybe playing Cincy and getting a win, and then forgetting about what happened in Canada. I don't know. Her coach will figure it out. They'll figure it out. All right, Khachanov serving first in the final set. 30 love. Y'all are dumb for betting on Osaka. I don't think anyone bet on Osaka, bro. I didn't. 30 love. By the way, when we're talking about just in general, when we're talking about people's mental health, can we not be so, I don't know, casual about it? You know what I mean? Like, can we not just be like, do this, do that? Like, can we just be a little bit more thoughtful and a bit more, what's the word? I don't know. Can we just be a little less insensitive? $30-15. Is it a backhand in the net from Shelton? 40-15. Why? You have to ask me why? Why do we have to be a little less callous? That's a good word. Because there's enough of that in the world. People, kicking people while they're down, and, we don't need to do that. Or, we don't need to do that. As that goes out on the return from Shelton. It's 1 love. Cam, you're a good force for this world? No, I'm just a normal human being. I think most people are normal and that have the same, I hope I hope most people are thoughtful and at least think about, try and think about how it affects people. I try. I'm not good. I'm not perfect, but at all. I don't think anybody is, but just saying so and so should do this. Maybe it's a little bit more serious, and we should maybe be a bit more kind. What's insensitive? Paul, you deleted the message just in time for me not read it. What did you say? Why'd you delete it? 15 love. First serve is a fault, second serve. Yeah, be more considerate. Exactly. As we get a double fault, 15-0. And the best thing to do, right, is rather than talk about the person who lost and talk about why they lost and analyze that, why don't we talk more about Mboko and how good she was in the final, but how great she was for the week. I mean, that's a much better way about things. It's a better way to do things. Focus on the person who won. Celebrate that. What an achievement. We don't need to go over the same conversation about Osaka. We've talked. People talk about it all the time. It's always a thing. We don't need to keep talking about that. We don't need to go through it again. You know, as that goes out from Shelton at 30-all. You know, if you watched the match or you saw the performance, you'll know what happened. We don't need to be like, you know, I don't think it needs to be. We don't need to criticize, you know. 40-30, at least not in here. Out there, outside of this little bubble that we live in this tennis talk bubble, outside, yeah, Twitter, whatever, social media, other people can, that's, other platforms, let them, there's enough of that going on out there. But in here, we don't need to add to it. That's not what I want. I don't want this channel to be part of the problem, 40-30. As that goes to the net from Khachanov, it's 1-0. One all in the third. Let's see if Shelton can physically get through this, because he did get a medical timeout on his leg between the sets. So let's see. Let's see what we can do. What he can do. And let's see if Khachanov can drag this out, because Khachanov, I don't think gets enough credit for his fitness. He doesn't break down very much. All right, 15 love. Oh, man. I'm going to fault second serve. I'm going to serve again. There's a fault. Double fault. All right, 15-0. First double fault of the match for Khachanov too. All right. 15-0. As the return goes out by Shelton. Great serve. 30-15. $30-15. And we're going to serve again. As the return goes into the forehand Khachanov. Backhand up from Shelton. Again, the forehand Khachanov. Shelton backhand again. To the forehand Khachanov. Shelton again with the backhand. Into the forehand Khachanov. Shelton backhand. Into the backhand Khachanov again. Shelton with a forehand. Khachanov gets it back. Shelton backhand again. The forehand Khachanov. Khachanov hits it wide. 30-all. 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 Where are you watching this? I was listening on the while driving on the highway. You can watch it on Tennis TV. That's where all the men's matches are played or are shown. Tennis TV. At least that's how I watch it. Or I think if like America can watch on Tennis Channel, I think. I'm going to serve out wide. The backhand is Shelton, forehand from Khachanov. Shelton with a backhand pass. Goes out. 40-30. 40-30. As the return goes out by Shelton. And Khachanov holds 2-1. 2-1. 2-1 Khachanov. Final set. All right. Have I read String Theory yet? No, but I've got it behind me. I've got the book right behind me, but I haven't read it yet. Okay, 2-1. Prediction for Cincinnati, Sinner. Easy. Next question. Shelton, it's a volley, and Khachanov hits it long. And it's 15-love. Is Osaka teamed up with Kyrgios? He's playing mixed doubles. Well, they're playing mixed doubles together. All right, return goes into the forehand of Shelton, backhand for Khachanov. Into the forehand of Shelton. It's Khachanov again to the backhand of Shelton. Into the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton forehand is another winner. 30-love. Now, Shelton did get a medical timeout on his leg. He does have strapping on that leg, and I think he had strapping in yesterday's match as well on that same leg. Is it the same leg or is it the other leg? Let me check. No, it's the same leg. So he has strapping on his right leg already. So, yeah. So that's what the medical time... It wasn't a medical timeout for anything new. It was just that leg is getting a bit tight. And he has played a lot of tennis. Remember, he played 2 final set tiebreak matches leading into this, and then also he played a match yesterday that was pretty tight. So I don't think it's an injury more than it is just general soreness and fatigue. And then he's wearing that because he's just been playing a lot of tennis this week. I don't think it's an injury or that we should all be like freaking out about. He's not limping or anything. 2-0. Two all. All right. Khachanov serves. And return goes the forehand Khachanov. Forehand from Shelton. Again, the forehand Khachanov. Shelton can't get that one. 15-love. $15-love. As with a backhand from Shelton on the stretch, goes wide. 30-love. $30-love. All right, 40-love. Nice work from Khachanov again. 40-love. As we get a fault, second serve. As Khachanov holds, 3-2. All right. Any questions, Shell? Let's do a quick fire round of questions. Go. Throw your questions at me. Tennis-related questions, please. Let's answer as many questions as we can in the exchange of ends. Let's go. Let's go. God, it's cold here, Chet. My hands are freezing. You ever get like your hands, like the bones in your hands are cold? I got that feeling right now. My fingers feel like they're going to snap off. What tennis racket does Khachanov use? He uses a Wilson. I can't tell what brand, what type, but it's Wilson. But it is covered in all black, so it might be like the new Federer racket, or it's probably, maybe it's Wilson, but it's like it's a Wilson. When will Alcaraz play next? Who will play next? He'll play in Cincinnati. Explain wildcard, please. A wildcard's given to a player that's either from that country or a player that will attract crowd. Is this Djokovic's last year? No. Because he said he was going to play Wimbledon next year. Who do you think will win this match? Ben Shelton. Do you think Nadal would have ever beaten peak Sinner? Yes. It depends on the court. We haven't even seen peak Sinner. He's just getting started. Peak Sinner could be 28 years old. We don't even know. What do all the tennis players carry in their bags and other professional? I have no idea. When's the doctor cutting your finger off? That's not a tennis question. That's rude. What happened to Barty? She retired because she did everything she needed to do in tennis and wanted to start a family. Do you think Nadal will marry me? No, because he's married with children. So I would say no. Sorry. Ugh. All right, 3-2. As that goes out by Khachanov, 15 love. How much is my fantasy team worth? Good question. I don't know. 180 mil. 180 million. 180 million. But I'll sell it for $1,800. I'll sell it for. That's a bargain. That's a discount. It's a huge discount. $1,800 you can have my team. I'll sell you the team. Anyway, 30 love. Thoughts on Fritz? Fritz is great. He's been great. Do all the tournaments get nets from the same place? I think so, yeah. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe they're different manufacturers in different places. But they've all got like a standard they have to be at and shit, you know. 40 love. $40 love. Dutchy, that's funny. First serve, fall, second serve. Serve again. Shelton is a double fault, 40-15. Prediction for the US Open men's. At this stage, before Cincinnati starts, I'm going to go with Sinner. And on the women's side, I'm going to go... I want to pick Coco, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go Sabalenka. I know, right? Shocking. 40-15. Oh my God. You picked the defending champions of world number ones? Yes. Yes, I did. But ask me after Cincinnati, because if both of them lose in the first rounds, and I don't know. Depends who they lose to as well. Like, if Fritz beats Sinner, I might pick Alcaraz. I don't know. I mean, you just got to... Lots can like injuries. There's a lot could happen in a week, right? So I'm going to... Ask me again in a week, but right now, as of right now, on the 7th of August, I'm going to go Sinner and Sabalenka. Just because, like, why would I pick anyone else why would I pick anyone else? Maybe Swiatek, but it depends on a draw. Because I think there's some tricky players. Anyway, slice from Shelton. 3-0, final set. As it a fine now is too good by Khachanov. Shelton didn't get it. It down by double bounced. Shelton wants to challenge it though. All right. Shelton wants to challenge the double bounce. Let's see if this was a double bounce. It did look like it was. Anyone know what happened to the sound effect? Right here. All right, let's see if it was a double bounce. If it double bounced, it's Khachanov's point. If Shelton got it back, they're going to replay the point. I can't see that, and I doubt the crowd can either. What a terrible camera angle. How can you tell? How can you tell? How can you tell? You can't tell. Where's the slow-mo camera? There it is. Yeah, double bounced. All right. It double bounced. It looked like a double. I mean, they showed like one replay in half slow-mo. It seemed like it double bounced. But like, where's the slow-mo camera for this stuff? God, they got to get better at showing this on TV at least. I get they can't show it on the screen, but they got to show this on TV a lot better than just like a replay. We got to figure out like some. Yeah, we got to figure it out. Anyways, 15-love. It was a double bounce. What a shocking replay, right? And we're serving the forehand of Shelton. Backhand now from Khachanov to the backhand of Shelton sliced. Khachanov with the forehand again. The backhand of Shelton sliced. Khachanov again to the backhand of Shelton. Khachanov cross the court. Shelton's now hits a slice forehand long. 30-love. Thoughts on the Six Kings Slam coming back? I'm excited. It was really good last year. It was fun to watch. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's a good thing. I wonder if the Six Kings Slam will still be a thing if the ATP make a Saudi 1000 though. I don't know if they're going to make. I don't think the Six Kings Slam is going to be a thing if they get a 1000 title. Because why would they need to do it? They already get a 1000. Why would they need to have a why would they need two tournaments? Well, why would they want to host two tournaments? But I liked it. I thought it was good last year. I think the production of it all was really good. You know, they obviously enticed the best names in the world playing each other. It's almost like the ATP finals before the ATP finals too. Like it's a nice, like we get to see the best players in the world without having to wait to the finals, you know. 40-love and Shelton in the net. 4-3 Khachanov. So I thought it was good. I like it, and I think it's good this year. It'll be good again this year. I think the production of it was really good though. Like they showed, remember that trailer last year? It was crazy, right? They put obviously the political side, let's not get political with it all because, but from a pure monetary point of view, because they've got so much money to spend, they're going to go all out on these things, right? So like last year we saw that, like it's an exhibition, but it was promoted. It was, the players that played, the prizes, all that stuff. They had so much cash to spend that it was like they could put on the best show they could. Like there was nothing off limits, right? They could put so much into it. It wasn't a budget. It was, So the best, and there was a lot of things they did that I'm like, I wish we could adopt this into real tennis, but obviously there's a budget for that stuff, right? You can't afford, not every tournament can afford to do introductions and massive trailers and all this crazy shit, right? So I liked it from that point of view. They're like, they put on the best show because they had so much money to do it. They can afford to do it. So I liked it. I thought, yeah, I thought it was good for that. It showed what we can do in this sport, you know. And I think some of the tournaments have adopted what happened. You know, they did like when they did like the whole intro and the courts. You know, were all like lit up and going crazy and stuff. And I think there was some tournaments that have taken some of that into their own tournament, which I like. You know, so from that sort of thing, you know, I think it's a good thing. Obviously, there's a whole political side of it that, you know, has to be there, and has to be spoken about. But we're not going to talk about it here because we're not going to get political with it. But from a tennis show point of view, it was great. And I'm glad they're doing it again, because it could have easily just been a one and done, like the Netflix Slam. That was a one and done, right? They did it once. It was great. They didn't come back. Why didn't they come back this year? I would love to watch the Netflix Slam in Vegas. Hey, Don, thanks for the 47 months. Let's go, Big Ben. Let's go. 15 love. Shelton, 30 love. But we'll tune into that. It's coming up after the US Open, I think, as well. So, yeah. As with a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Khachanov. 4 now from Shelton. Into the backhand slice of Khachanov. And Shelton forehand. Again to the backhand. Khachanov on the stretch. Goes wide. 40 love. 40 love. Shelton to level. I mean, chat, we know what we're... I'm not going to say it because I'm not getting blamed for it if it doesn't happen, but you know what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying. 40 love. All right, it was a let. Don't say it out loud. Jesus. Keep it to yourself. Shh. Shh. Serve into the forehand of Khachanov, and the forehand from Shelton in the net. 40-15. Way too early to say the T word. All right. 40-15. All right. 40-15. First serve is a fault. Second serve. As a return goes the forehand of Shelton. Back in the Khachanov. The back in Shelton. As with a backhand again from Shelton down the line. Beautiful shot. 4-4. 4-all. All right. 4-4. 4-all. Back to Khachanov. Who can hold their nerve? We're going to find out. 4-0. As we serve again. Into the backhand of Shelton. Forehand of Khachanov. The forehand of Shelton. There's Khachanov backhand. Into the backhand of Shelton. Again, the backhand of Khachanov. Shelton backhand in the net. 15 love. All right, serve again. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Ooh, double fault. 15-all. Chat, you know what I'm going to do after this match? I'm going to go to the doctor. But after I go to the doctor, I'm going to go to the thrift. Then I go to the thrift store. After that, I'm going to go to the bakery and I'm going to get a Danish pastry. Maybe raspberry with custard. And a coffee. 30-15. And maybe a latte. That's what I'm going to do. And then maybe I'll go see Weapons. I don't know if I'll go see Weapons tonight. Maybe I'll see tomorrow. Anyways, 30-15. That's the plan. What are you doing after this chat? Probably going to sleep? Backhand goes into the backhand of Khachanov. Forehand from Shelton. Into the forehand of Khachanov. Is Shelton with a forehand cross. Khachanov backhand. Goes the backhand of Shelton. Into the forehand of Khachanov. Again, the backhand of Shelton. Khachanov forehand winner down the line. He shakes the fist. 40-15. That was a beautiful shot. Man, talk only about match. Oh my God. Well, you don't care about my day? You don't care about you don't care about what I'm going to do this afternoon? That's sad. But I'm gonna eat a pastry. All right, 40-15. As with a forehand on the stretch from Shelton, slice from Khachanov. As with a slice from Shelton, and then Khachanov puts up a lob, but it's not high enough, and he swats it away. 40-30. 40-30. All right, and the cameraman almost got, he almost lost his hand. All right, 40-30. As the return goes to the net. All right, Khachanov 5-4. Sorry, Cam. It's just that we can't watch the match, and that's the only reason we watch. You don't... I thought we were friends. I thought you wanted to hang out. Why? Why is it so close? Jesus, back up. Back up, bro. God. This camera's getting weird. This is too much. Why is it so close, Chad? Chad, back up! Back up! Back up. Okay, that's enough. All right. Cam, the rain is ruining your hair. Yes. All right, Shelton's going to serve to stay in the match. Shelton serving to stay in the match. Here we go. Shelton serves. It's an ace. Nice. 15-love. Serve again. Serve to the back of Khachanov. And the return goes out. 30-love. $30-love. We're going to fault second serve. As a return goes out by Khachanov, 40 love. Nice serving from Shelton under pressure. As with a fault, second serve. Second serve. As the forehand goes into the forehand of Shelton. Backing out from Khachanov to the slice of Shelton. As Khachanov forehand goes wide. 5-all. 5-5. Five all in the third. Don't even say it, Chad. Don't even think it. Don't even think it. Five. Back to Khachanov. As the return goes back in Khachanov. As Khachanov backhand cross court. That's a great shot. Shelton gets it back. Khachanov forehand cross. Shelton slices it back. Khachanov comes in. Shelton puts up a lob. Khachanov with a smash. Too good. 15 love. 15 love. Khachanov too good. As the return goes into the net from Shelton. 30 love. $30 love. As a default second serve. By the way, chat, we've been live almost 5 hours already. It's gone quick, eh? It helps when the match is good. Both matches have been epic. As a bit of back and return into the forehand of Khachanov. Backhand from Shelton to the forehand of Khachanov. As Shelton forehand into the backhand of Khachanov again, the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov backhand into the slice of Shelton. To the backhand of Khachanov. Shelton on the stretch. Into the backhand of Khachanov. Shelton with the slice. Goes out. 40 love. 40 love. To take the lead again and make Shelton serve to stay in the match. All right. 40 love. $40 love. Into the forehand of Shelton. Return goes into the slice of Khachanov. Shelton with the slice backhand. Khachanov with a pass. Shelton volley. Khachanov puts it away. All right. Shelton's going to serve to stay in the match again. Khachanov gets the 6-5. Okay. All right. 6-5. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see if Shelton can hold. All right. Why did Shelton stop playing on the last point? Because he knew he was probably going to lose it, so he didn't want to waste his energy, waste his time. Khachanov had an easy forehand winner and he just smoked it. Like, he's just like, whatever. Shelton didn't want to get hit by the ball either, you know? Okay. Here we go. It's going to be Shelton serving to get to the... Nope. Whoa. Hey, what? Stay in the match. I didn't say it. Don't even think it. 6-5. I'm not taking responsibility if it doesn't happen. It's not on me. I stopped myself. That's not on me. That's not on me. Don't say it. Hey, you don't say it. Shh. 15 love. Serving to the forward. Khachanov. As Shelton forward. Backhand goes wide. 15 love. I didn't say anything. I didn't even say a word. I didn't say a syllable. Don't think it. Just 15 love. Serving to stay in the match. Serve again. It's an ace. 30 love. Don't even think it. 30 love. Shelton serves again. Another ace. 40 love. $40 love. 40 love. 15 aces for the match for Shelton. 40 love. 7 to the back and Khachanov. Return goes out and we're going to a tie-break. Tie-break. We're going to a tie-break. All right. Final set tie-break. It's only 7 points, by the way, because only at slams is when we play 10 points. 7-point tie-break to 5. I'm so happy we got here. And I'm so happy that none of us, there was no curse. No such thing as curses anyway. Everything's fine. Who's winning the tie-break to win this title? This is a great way to finish the tournament. Chat, I know we've been very negative. No, not negative. We've kind of I feel like we've kind of dismissed Canada as a tournament, as a 1,000 a little bit, but at least we're getting a great finale. The last couple of days, and we knew this was happening once we got to the quarterfinals, it was going to get really good. We've gotten a great finale. Like, Canada's been great this week. Last week, it was all right. One love Shelton. But we're getting great matches at the end, like we should. This is a 1,000 final. This is great. This is exactly what it should be. I wish it was 5 sets. Actually, I do wish this was 5 sets. This match, it would be great to have a 5-setter here. We would have a 5-setter. All right, one love Shelton. He gets a mini break straight away. Serve goes in the forehand of Khachanov. Return the net. Body serve was effective. 2 love. 2 love. To Shelton. Remember, Shelton was leading the first set tiebreak. As he was serving the back in Khachanov, but it's a let. I think we need 1 week 1,000s and 5-set finals. Yes! Yes. Bring it back. That's exactly what we need. That's so much better than a 2-week Masters and a 3-set final. Ace out wide, Shelton. He's got 3 love. Yes. Let's make 1 week Masters and 5-set finals. Yes. So much better. That's how you get, not 2 weeks like the slams, 5-set finals like the slams. That's what makes it memorable. 5-set finals are way more memorable than 2-week Masters. That is such a good idea. So much better. Let's go. And on the women's side. Both men and women, 5-set finals. All right, backhand goes into the forehand of Khachanov. Slice from Shelton. Into the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton backhand on the stretch. Goes to the forehand of Khachanov. Shelton with the forehand. Again to the forehand of Khachanov. And Shelton gets there with the backhand. But he hits it out. 3-1, Shelton. 3-1. Where can I sign the GoFundMe to make it happen? Yeah, we're going to... Maybe, chat, we should write a petition just for fun. See if we can get how many names we can get. I reckon we could get at least 100 signatures. All right, 3-1. As the return goes to the forehand, Khachanov. Forehand now from Shelton in the net. Oh, that would have been a great shot. 3-2. 3-2. 3-2 Shelton. He's still got the mini break, but it's yeah. By the way, is that the Canadian Rockies symbol on the side? There's no chance. No shot that the Rockies are sponsoring this tournament. I swear that's their logo, though. Is it? It's a purple too. What is going on? They're trolling me. We get it. We lost. Shut up. Back here return. We know the Blue Jays just smoke them. Is that what they're doing? They're teasing us. You know, his backhand goes out. Forehand goes out by Khachanov. Oh, no. It's just some, like, copper thing. I don't know. All right. Thought they were just trolling. We come into town and we lose badly. All right. And then they got to friggin' put it on the screen. No. We get it. The Blue Jays are pretty good, all right? Leave us alone. No, not Canadian Rockies. Colorado. The same logo, though. It's the exact same logo. I got a jersey with that logo on it. All right, 4-2. Shelton, he's 3 points away from the biggest trophy of his career so far. Shelton serves. And the backhand return goes wide. 5-2 Shelton. 2 points away. 2 points away. Hey, Greg, thanks for the 41 months. Appreciate that. All right, 5-2. Can Khachanov fight back like he did? Like he did in that first set. Hell of a comeback if he can. The serve now the forehand of Shelton. Return winner from Shelton. Not this time. 4 match points for Ben Shelton. 4 match points to take his biggest trophy yet. His first 1,000 title. All right. Khachanov serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Shelton. Return is out. Oof. Shelton went for it. He wanted to end with a super shot, but he missed. All right. 6-3. Championship point number 2. But it's on Ben's serve. He serves. Into the backhand of Khachanov. Return goes to the forehand of Shelton. Khachanov forehand on the stretch. Goes in the net. Ben Shelton's the champ. He wins the biggest trophy of his career. And he smacks himself in the head. Ben Shelton wins Canada. Hell of a match. I mean, we had 2 great matches tonight. What a match. And the Shelton camp are just massive smiles. They are grinning. They love it. Shelton wins. He's a 1,000 champion. That puts you in a different category. That puts you in a totally different category. He's up there now. He's got a 1,000, same as Fritz, same as Khachanov, same as Rublev, Tsitsipas. 1,000 champions. That's a different level. It's a different level of player. You're a different type of player now. More expectations, but you're a different type of player now. All right. If y'all are leaving, don't forget to sub. We're going to stick around for a little bit. But what a win from Ben. And what a week. He had some crazy... I mean, I think that was his 3rd final set tiebreak victory as well. He played so much this week. He played so much tennis this week to win this title. His run to the trophy. So he beats Manarino in the second round. He beats Nakashima, third set tiebreak in the third round. Kaboli, third set tiebreak win in the fourth round. He then took out Demonor pretty easily, Fritz pretty easily, and then this one, again, going the distance, final set tiebreak. So 3 final set tiebreak victories to win the trophy. That is a hell of an effort. And with a sore leg towards the end as well. So he earned it. He earned his trophy. What a win. Hubs.
Big Ben taking over us tennis.
Well, he's almost up there with Fritz. I mean, Fritz is still in front of him by this much, but yeah. Let's see what happens going forward, because I think Shelton could be number 1 American by the end of the US Open series. So let's see whether or not Fritz has got a lot of pressure to defend points. So we'll see. But love that. Love that for Shelton. He's had a hell of a couple of months as well. He's been so good. On the clay, he was unexpectedly good, right? He pushed Alcaraz at the French. Goes to Wimbledon, does well there too. And now he's won the biggest trophy of his career. So it's been a run. What a run. Ranking show, I don't know when we're going to do that, because I don't know when the rankings come out. Do they come out next week? I don't know when I'm going to do the ranking show, because I don't know when the rankings are going to be. If the rankings are updated tomorrow, I'll do it. But yeah. The ranking, that's what makes this tournament so weird, because it's finishing on a weird day. Rankings come out on Monday, usually. We'll find out. I need to see Shelton Djokovic rematch. Oh, yeah. We need that. We do need that. Shelton is a better player than Fritz to me. Shelton has improved so much this year. Yeah, it's just because Shelton plays a more aggressive game, right? And that's sort of suited to this generation. You know, that style works a lot better this at the moment, you know, with guys like Alcaraz, right? So yeah, what's his ranking? Is he going to be number 6 or number 7? He overtakes Djokovic. Woo-hoo! So he's number 6, and he's still 1,000 points behind Fritz. So that's still, you know, he's still a fair way back, but he's almost number 5. He's this close to Draper. I don't think he can be number 4, because Fritz, Cincinnati, I don't think he has tournament points to lose, Fritz. So I think he can't be number 4, but he could be number 5. Because remember, Draper's not playing next week. Shelton could make some points. So, but either way, 5 or 6 doesn't really matter. As long as he's top 8, that's all that really matters at the Slam anyway. But yeah, he overtakes Djokovic in the ranking. Shelton is number 6. That's crazy. That's crazy. Second youngest player in the top 10 as well. Sorry, no. Second youngest player in the top 8, I should say, because Runer's in the top 10. He's younger than Shelton. But yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Love this for Shelton. Love Shelton getting this. Djokovic doesn't give a flying F about 1,000. Yeah, who cares? So don't take it personal. Draper may withdraw and he'd give up he'd get top 4 seed at US. No, because Draper's not top 4. Fritz is number 4. So if Draper pulls out, Shelton goes into number 5. So if Draper was number 4, like he was, you know, earlier in the year, that would be different, but he's not number 4, so being number 5 doesn't make any difference for Shelton if you know, because Draper's not up there. Shelton's going to pass Fritz in the rankings. Well, maybe. I mean, Fritz has got Cincinnati and he definitely has a US Open final to defend. I don't know what he has in Cincy though. Does Fritz have points in Cincy to defend? I don't know. Yeah. 5 to 8 is the same thing. Exactly, yeah. The only difference, is if one of the top 4 pull out and you're number 5, you turn to number 4. But that's the only benefit. But at this stage, Sinner, Alcaraz, Zverev, and Fritz are all playing the US Open. So there's no point in, unless if one of them get injured, then being number 5 is very important. But if they don't get injured, then there's no number 5 doesn't make any difference before the draw comes out. Hindsight, it might, once the draw comes out, and we're like, oh, number 5 got a shit draw, and number 4 got number 7 got a great draw, but we won't know until then. I don't even know when the draw comes out. These Sunday starts, they mess me up. What can Shelton improve to handle Sinner and Alcaraz? I don't think he's that far off. It's just that those guys are a lot more consistent and a lot less error. Like, they don't give away anything, which Shelton gives away some errors sometimes and lets players back into matches or whatever, but not very. I mean, those guys are the best of the best, right? They're the cleanest guys. They don't give you anything. You've got to beat them, right? So Shelton will beat them eventually, because they're not going to be perfect every day. But the big difference between Shelton and those guys is that those guys, they're, especially at slams, they are not giving out charity. They will not give you especially when they play lower play, like we see Alcaraz, right? 5-setter against Fognini, right? When we see Alcaraz play those lower ranked guys, sometimes there's a little bit of he falls asleep, right? But when he starts playing the big boys, Alcaraz lifts. Same with Sinner. Well, Sinner kind of just does what he plays everybody like they're the best player on the planet, so he never plays the way he does. So Shelton's going to have to play a hell of a match to be competitive, but those guys might have to drop their level a little bit right now if they played each other. But I think Shelton's beaten Sinner. He's pushed Alcaraz, right? He's in there. But it might just take a little bit of, like, a great serving day for Shelton is a minimum, Shelton beat Sinner in their first match. Yeah, it was a couple of years ago in Shanghai. It was a great match. It was awesome. Just before Sinner went on that crazy run. He beat Sinner just before Sinner went crazy and started dominating. Tennis pros say Shelton needs to work big time on returning serve. I mean, yeah, returning serve. But when you got the serve sorted, it's awesome. I'm out of here. Thanks, Deb. By the way, chat, shout out to Deb. Thank you for the week. It's been crazy. Take the day off. By the way, chat, we're taking tomorrow off. We're going to have a day off, and then we're going to come back and watch Cincinnati like mad. So, but shout out to Deb. It's never easy being the mod. It's... But she keeps things in check. So shout out to Deb. Have last year's Cincinnati points already dropped? No, they'll drop off next week, I think. I did some analysis on your question yesterday from after today. Canada now produced the most first-time champions together with Paris. Oh, so they're equal. All right. Nice. Thanks, Sophie. Yeah, everyone, pack your bags, bring your passports. We're going to Cincinnati. Shelton, new face of US men's tennis. I mean, Fritz is still the top dog, but I think Shelton is definitely... I think, and I've said this for a while, like, Shelton's personality and his, like, the way that he, like... He's definitely more, like, I think Fritz is a little bit more, like, he's shy, in a way. Whereas Shelton's a lot more, like, outspoken, a lot more, he's a lot louder. And I think that might appeal to people more, It also might not appeal to people more because sometimes people don't want to see that. But I think Shelton's got that kind of confidence and that, that I like watching, More marketable? Maybe, yeah. But he's got the big serve, and I think having that big serve is something that like some of the biggest names in American tennis have Roddick, Sampras, right? This big serve has been a staple of American tennis, right? But he's also got the charisma and the personality that, in interviews and, that I think, he's got that charm as well, right? He's got that charisma. Not saying that Fritz doesn't. Fritz is from California. He's got he's a bit more laid back. He's a bit more chill. He's got his own, he goes about a different way. But I think that Shelton, having that sort of that aggressive side, that aggression and that confidence, I think it's going to appeal to a lot of people. So I think a lot of people are going to, a lot of Americans are going to be like, hey, I want to watch this Shelton guy. This Shelton guy is I think he's maybe a little bit more marketable in that way. More extroverted. Yeah. And we see that with between, the comparisons between Swiatek and Sabalenka, right? And we're like, Sabalenka's, she's more willing to do those extra things, be that personality that, not everyone needs to be like that. Sampras wasn't like that. He wasn't outgoing, and Agassi was. But I think that to be honest, even if it's not really like, is Shelton more marketable than Fritz, the fact that there's a chance to choose, it hasn't been that for men's tennis in America for so long. There's been for 20 years, it hasn't been like a competition between who's going to be the best American for so long. Because it's always been one person in the top 10 at one time. Jack Sock was there for a little bit. John Isner was there. Marty Fish was there. Roddick was there. James Blake was there. There hasn't been this competition for who's going to be the American, favorite, on the men's side. Because usually it's just Fritz has been there. So it's he's the best, so he's the guy. But now there's a bit of competition between Shelton and Fritz and Tommy Paul and Tiafoe and these guys, of who's gonna who are the American people gonna choose, who do they want to represent them? We haven't had that. It's always been he's the best, you gotta go with him. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome to see that at the US Open, who's the crowd gonna go for? Are they gonna go for Fritz because he's number one American? Or are they going to go for Shelton because he just won this title and they're excited for him? Maybe they go back with Foe, or maybe they go with Tommy Paul, someone a little bit different. It's really fun to have this conversation again. It's been so long that Americans haven't been able to pick their favorite on the men's side because, again, like I said, there hasn't been many choices. It's that guy's the best chance, so I guess we'll pick him. But now, not saying that Fritz and Shelton can beat Alcaraz and Sinner, but for the first time going into the US Open, it feels like there are two very capable players, very, very likely to go on a run. Not to mention, like I said, Tiafoe and Paul, who are not strangers to the semis of slams. So there's 4 Americans now on the men's side that could legitimately make the final or win the title. I mean, like I said, it's hard to see all of those guys beating Sinner and Alcaraz because that's what you have to do, right? If you want to win a slam, you got to beat them. But going into this US Open, it might be the best chance for an American champion there's been on the men's side for 20 years. Since Andy in 2006, right? A legitimate shot. There's 4, because you only need one of those guys. Tiafoe takes out Alcaraz, he could do that. And then maybe or Tiafoe upsets Sinner or something, right? And then Paul takes out Alcaraz, and then you go, okay, well now it's open. There's a lot more, it's an American charge now that could all gang up on these European number ones. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun to watch. I could see Ben getting more product endorsements. His personality has star quality. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think we all can see that for sure. Yeah, Mickelson's another one. Yeah, I didn't even mention Mickelson. Yeah, Mickelson's around, for sure. Mickelson's there. I mean, yeah. quarter when he comes back from injury. Yep, he's there as well. I mean, there's a lot of Americans coming through right now. Dream on, Cam. Just can't see anyone beating Sinner. He needs to be injured only way. No, Graham, I didn't say that Sinner's going to... I picked Sinner to win. I'm just saying if you're from America, it's a good... Like, for the first time, it feels like in a long time, you can go to the US Open and you can make an argument for multiple players to make a run. Like, it's not just like... You know, Tiafoe having a run in 2022 was a surprise, right? It wasn't expected. Fritz making the final last year wasn't even expected. But like, it feels like for the first time, if you're from America or if you're from anywhere and you like American tennis, there's a legitimate shot. You can make a case for a lot of players to go. There could be 4 American quarterfinals next year or this year. I'm not saying they can beat Sinner. I said that at the start. And I picked Sinner to win. I'm like, yeah, okay. Can see Carlos. Yeah, I mean, I can see Alcaraz is always going to be more vulnerable than Sinner. But like, if you're from America, you should be excited. This is a huge deal. You've got a massive opportunity to break that drought. There's 4 players that have a legitimate shot at making a run at this title in New York, and it's the first time in a long time. I mean, even when Fritz made the final. You know, we knew that Sinner was obviously going to be the tough final boss, but you got 4 guys now. Now you don't have to just, you know, hope for the best. And if that person loses, it's all over. There's 4 players that could, I mean, they could make it. At least make it to the dance, right? To that final, you know, couple of 4 or 8 players. There could be legitimately 3 or 4 Americans in the quarters of the US Open men's this year, for sure. I just hope if it plays out that the Americans don't play each other in the quarters. Like, I hope if it is an American, you know, feast, that it's, I hope it's not, you know, like it was last year where it was like 2 Americans playing each other and the winner plays the final. I'd rather it be like one plays one side, one plays the other, and then like, you know, Sinner versus, you know, whatever, Fritz, and then Shelton Alcaraz or something, you know, and have, you know, the Americans taking on the favorites, right? Rather than it being the Americans beating each other up and then the favorites just, you know, picking them off, right? Like it was last year, you know, with Sinner was on one side just kind of, you know, walking, and then you had Shelton and Tiafoe having to play it out, you know. Who do you think will win the US Open if Sinner and Alcaraz lose early? I don't know. It'll come down to the draw, and it'll come down to whoever plays well in Cincy. I don't think Sinner's losing early. I'm still not picking against Sinner until I see something that gives me a reason to not pick him, but Americans always seem to be on the same side of the draw. Yeah, it's just how the draw plays, you know. Luck of the draw, that's it. Sinner can't be beaten on hard courts. Well, that's true. I tell you though, if Sinner loses next week in Cincinnati to someone we don't expect, then that it makes an interesting conversation, right? We have to chat. We have to talk about it. Shelton, Fritz, Tiafoe would be good picks for the US Open final. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Any of them could make them. I mean, they've all made the semis already, right? Once each. Or twice for Tiafoe, right? Sinner would beat without his juice. What? Is he playing anyone with 6 slice? Who's that? Alcaraz versus Shelton final? That'd be fun. Shelton versus Alcaraz at Laver Cup would be fire. Ooh, yes. The Laver Cup is going to be so fun this year, chat. I love that tournament already, and I know it's like unpopular to like it. Like, it's almost like it niche. But I think the Laver Cup this year is going to be so fun. Like, it is going to be not one. It's probably going to be the best one since London. I'm excited. I reckon. I mean, last year was great. If you watched last year, I think last year got a lot of people to maybe rethink their negative opinion about the Laver Cup. But this year it's going to be fun. When you got Alcaraz and Fonseca, I mean, Shelton and Runa, and I mean, there's a lot of personality at this Laver Cup. It's going to be really fun. I'm not sure where the Laver Cup's shown. I have to find it. Changes sometimes. I have to figure it out. That's after the US Open. Laver Cup is mid-September, before the Asian swing. But it's going to be fun. And they've got new captains and new coaches, so that's going to be fun. To watch Agassi and Yannick Noah and Pat Rafter, Tim Henman all there. It's going to be really good. Hype for Laver Cup? Oh, yeah. It's going to be so much fun. I'm interested to see who they get for the last couple of people, too. We need Bublik. Team World, they need to get Bublik. We need Bublik in the Team World. Come on now. He play Kazakhstan's in Asia. All right. Europe's comeback last year was nice to see. Oh, yeah. Alcaraz carried. I mean, he put the team on his back and he went, all right, come with me. And no Alcaraz and Europe gets smoked. Like, Alcaraz grabbed that team after the first day, they were screwed. And then day 2, Alcaraz was like, come on, everybody, jump on. And he's just like walking into that was Team Alcaraz versus the world. If he wasn't there, they had no chance. He carried. It is true. It is true. It is true. It is true. I mean, he won pretty much the entire team's points, didn't he? Maybe 1 or 2 players chipped in, but he was like carrying doubles and singles. It was Team Carlos last year. It really should be Jannik and Carlos versus everyone. No, you don't need Jannik Sinner as well. Leave him home. He doesn't need to play. No Sinner at the Laver Cup this year. Leave him. We don't need that smoke. We already got to deal with Alcaraz. You leave Sinner alone. Let him go on holiday or something. He doesn't need to play. We don't need that smoke. You don't need that help, all right? You leave him at home. You can't have him as well, right? It's not fair. Djokovic is the underdog at the US Open. I mean, he is not the favorite, but he would be probably top 5 favorite still. Still top 5. Not the favorite, though. I wouldn't put Djokovic as like number 2 favorite or 3. Sinner doesn't know how to have fun. He's not invited. Well, that's not true. All right, chat, I'm out of here. Oh, man, what a day. What a busy day. That was actually, I mean, we got, like I said, Canada wasn't the greatest. Like, at the start of the tournament, it was very, it was a little tough to watch, because it just didn't have the names and the superstars, but it ended with a bang. What an end to this tournament. Mboko beating Osaka, and then, of course, Shelton beating Khachanov. And look, we'll remember Canada, how good it was for the last matches. We won't remember what happened in the first week because it's irrelevant. So now it ended with a bang, and that's all that matters. Dutchy, thank you for the donation. Appreciate that. All right. Khachanov and Shelton. Shelton wins 6-7, 6-4, 7-6. And he's the first 1,000 champion of his 1,000 title of his career. They're both going to Cincinnati. We'll see what they look like next week. By the way, tomorrow, unless something happens, which I don't know, I don't think anything's going to pop up tomorrow. But tomorrow, we're going to take a day, 24 hours. We're going to recharge, relax, and then we're going to come back strong in Cincy. And we're going to watch a lot of Cincinnati. So I'm talking to myself. I'm looking at myself. Take the day off and don't do anything. Recharge. Don't go out and do stupid shit. But I'll see you guys in a couple of days to watch Cincinnati. Shelton wins and Boko wins. Canadian tournament's over. That's it. Go on to Cincy. Pack your bags. Also, thank you, Sam, for the super sticker. I hope you're still here. Sorry that I missed that. You put it as soon as I left. So thank you for the super sticker. I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Bye. Bye. Thank you, Sam.